seated. At this time, I think the state of Ohio does have its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you want to walk right up to the judge for me?
Here, sir. You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yeah. Can you take the stand there?
Do you? Back, right? Have Ed scoot up a little bit. Ed. There we go. Okay. Thanks. Good afternoon. Can you give us your name and spell your first and last name for us, please?
My name is Ephraim Stefanko, which is E-P-H-R-E-M. Last name is S-T-E-F-A-N-K-O.
All right. And Ephraim, how old are you?
I am 19 years old.
Okay. You live in the Akron area?
Yeah.
Lived in Akron your whole life?
Yes.
Okay. And are you in school or are you employed?
I'm going to Stark State College, and I'm employed, yeah.
Okay. And I think we just had your dad in here earlier, but your dad's name is Aaron, and what's your mom's name?
Tiffany.
Okay. And did you graduate high school in 2023?
Yeah.
Which high school?
Firestone.
Okay. You went there all 4 years?
I did.
And during your time there, did you know Ethan Liming?
I did.
All right. Tell us when you first met, or how did you first meet Ethan?
We played baseball together in middle school, and we were on a team together our 8th grade year, and then we went to high school together, and we played baseball together, basketball together, and we were just had some classes together.
Okay. So you sort of met in middle school and then had baseball together?
Yeah.
All right. Did you play football also?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did Ethan?
Yeah, he did.
So his last year at Firestone would have been his junior year?
Yeah.
Okay. When he was a junior, was he on the football team?
Yeah, he was.
Do you remember what position he played?
Tight end or on kickoff, the kickoff team as well, I think.
Okay, so not, say it again, he was tight end and?
Tight end and on the kickoff team.
Okay, so he wasn't the quarterback?
No.
How would you describe your relationship with him?
We were good friends. We hung out a decent amount, went to concerts together. Yeah.
So would you see each other after school too?
Yeah.
And did you know his family?
I did, yeah.
Met his mom, Jennifer?
Yeah, mostly through baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you meet his dad and his stepmom?
His dad.
Okay. And did you guys, you said you were, through baseball, you got to know them?
Yeah.
Parents? Okay. And does he have any siblings, Ethan?
Yeah, younger brother Noah.
I'm going to show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 34. Can you take a look at that for me and tell me if you recognize what's in that photograph?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
Ethan. On his birthday.
Okay. Do you recognize it? State's 34 to be a photograph of Ethan. I'm going to put it just up on the overhead. And he was 17 when he died. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
And when this incident happened in June of 2022, how old were you?
I was 17 as well.
You said you played basketball with him?
Yeah.
Where would you guys play? Was it on a specific team or just for fun?
Yeah, we were on the Firestone freshman team, and also we'd go over to I Promise here and there and play.
All right, so where you live, how far away is that from I Promise?
Like 5 minutes, not even.
Driving?
Yeah.
Okay. And Ethan, he didn't live right near you, right? He lived a little further away?
Yeah, not too far.
Okay. So on June 2nd of 2022, we're going to talk about that, obviously. Was that you guys' last day of school?
It was, yeah.
Your last day of junior year?
Yeah.
Okay. And was there a plan after school for you and Ethan to get together?
He texted me later in the day asking if I wanted to hang out, and I said yeah.
Okay. What time was it that, well, let me ask you this. Did he come to you or did you go to him? How did you end up together that night?
He came and picked me up at my house.
Okay. He was driving that blue Kia?
Yeah.
All right. Picked you up at your house, and what's the plan?
Well, he told me that we were gonna go get Makai and Lamarion, and I was fine with that. It wasn't in our original plans, but he told me, and I was friends with them as well. So. All
right. Let me talk about them. So you said Makai, and what's his last name? Shady?
Yeah, Makai Shady. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you know Makai Shady then?
He went to Firestone as well, and sometimes he was up at I Promise playing basketball as well.
Okay. So you went to school with him?
Yeah.
How did you meet Makai?
I just been through school, having classes my freshman year with him.
Would you guys hang out, you and Makai, sometimes?
Not really. Only like me and Ethan would go play basketball at I Promise. Makai might be there. But yeah.
Okay. And how about Lamari and Dancy? How do you know him?
From school as well, playing basketball at I Promise as well.
All right. So it's fair to say the four of you would go up to the I Promise school to play basketball?
Yeah.
And do you know where that, let's see, that Lamari lived pretty close by, I think, to I Promise?
Yeah.
So on June 2nd of 2022, you said that Ethan came and picked you up. And what time of day was that?
I'm gonna say around 9, or just like, I know like it was dark out.
Okay, it was dark.
So.
All right. And after he picked you up, I think I already asked you in a way, but what was the plan? You're just gonna hang out?
Just hang out.
Okay. And when you got in the car with you, did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, I had the splat ball gun.
You have one yourself?
Yeah.
Or had one? Okay. So you had yours, and did Ethan have one as well?
He did, yeah.
Okay. What would you guys, have you used these splat ball guns before?
Yeah, like we would shoot each other, just shoot our friends with them. Yeah.
All right. So he picks you up, and where do you go?
We drive to either Lamarion or Makai's house. I'm not too sure which one, but they were together.
All right. And the home that you went to, was that near the I Promise school?
It was, yeah.
And when you get to that house, you're not sure if it's Lamarion's or Makai's?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
All right. When you get there, tell us what happens.
So they were we knew that they were going to come out the house because Ethan had texted them. And so he was like, let's prank them, let's shoot them with the guns as well. And so that's what happened. We shot them, whatever, and then we got in the car.
All four of you got in the car?
Yeah.
And you said you shot both Lamarion and Makai with the splat ball guns?
Yeah.
And what was their reaction, I guess?
I mean, not much. It's you get shot, it's like a tiny sting, whatever. He just kept on.
Okay, so it was joking? You guys were joking around?
Yeah.
All right. The gel gun, splat ball gun, what does it shoot?
It's like little Orbeez.
Describe what that is for the jury.
It's if you've ever been to a restaurant or whatever, they have it's you put them, they're little beads, you put them in water, and they expand into gel balls.
Go ahead.
But it's I don't know, if they have them in the little plants or whatever, at a restaurant.
Oh, so you're saying in a vase they might have those little gel balls
with
water, and then you put flowers or whatever in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So they expand with having been soaked in water?
Yes.
And you guys obviously had those gel balls with you?
Yeah, we had put them in a water bottle.
And why did they go in a water bottle?
Just because you you make them in like a bag of water, so they expand, and then you just like dump them into the water bottle. So then it's just like extra ammo or whatever.
And then how do you load them into the splat ball gun?
It's like there's like a little like orange clip on it, and it comes off, and like you flip open a lid, and then you just like pour them in.
So you had one on your own, and then Ethan had one.
Yeah.
Who brought the beads to shoot the guns? Both of you or one of you?
Both of us.
So you brought your own gel balls and he brought his?
Yeah.
And there's been talk in the past about these things being frozen. Were they frozen?
No, it's impossible to freeze them and to have them work in the gun.
Why is that?
Because you make them in like a clump, and I mean water freezes. They would all freeze together. I mean, it's impossible to break them off one by one or have them form one by one. And also for them to even shoot in the gun and then be frozen, it wouldn't work.
Okay. That would be 36. All right, I'm going to show you some exhibits that we've marked here. Oh, could you make that in 36, please? This is exhibit 35. Can you kind of take a look at that and tell me what it is?
So it's like the gel ball gun, and am I allowed to like pick it up? All right. So the clip goes in like right here, which is where you'd like put the beads or whatever. There's a sight. I don't know. It's just like a normal toy gun.
Okay. Does this appear to be like the one you had that night?
Yeah, it's the exact same one.
And I'm going to show you States Exhibit 36. And where did you get your splat ball gun?
Walmart.
Okay, so this is States Exhibit 36. You recognize what's in that in States Exhibit 36?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the balls or whatever.
Say it again?
It was the Orbeez.
Okay.
The gel balls.
So these are like the balls that you would put in the gun and they come out.
Yes.
All right. So you said you both have one of these bottles?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so you pick up Lamarian and Mackay. You say kind of like jokingly shoot them with the guns, and you guys get in the car.
Yeah.
And what do you do right after you get in the car?
Well, like we had like marijuana, and we like started like smoking that, and then we started to drive.
Okay. And we wondered if you had marijuana in the car?
Yeah.
All right. Where do you go to smoke the marijuana? Or are you driving? Are you parked somewhere?
At first we were parked, and then like we just started to drive.
All right. And whose marijuana? Who brought it?
I think Ethan.
Okay. Did you guys smoke marijuana together in the past?
Like times before, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You said you started to drive. Was there a place you were, we're going to drive to this place and do this, or what was the idea there?
No, we were just gonna like drive around.
Okay. Tell us what happens as you're driving around.
We were just like talking, whatever, and then we drive around like onto Market, and then we like see that there's people like at I Promise.
People where?
Like at I Promise.
Okay, you see from the road there's people that I promised?
Yeah,
And where are those people?
on the basketball court.
And that's well lit, the basketball court?
Yeah, because it was like nighttime, so they got lights out there.
All right. So you see people on the basketball court that I promised, and Ethan's driving, right?
Yeah.
And what do you do next?
We pull into I Promise.
Okay, and is there a discussion of why you're pulling in there?
I mean, we were like, we're just gonna like shoot the balls out the window or whatever.
From the splat ball gun?
Yeah.
And the plan was to shoot the people that were at the I Promise on the court?
I mean, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Was the plan that night, we're going to do some TikTok challenge and film it?
No, not film it. I don't think it's a TikTok challenge either.
You did what?
It's like, we weren't gonna film it, or like, it's not a challenge.
Okay. So no one's videotaping. The plan wasn't to put it on TikTok after you did it?
No.
Okay, it was just to, unfortunately, sneak up on some people and shoot the gel balls at them.
I guess.
Okay. And obviously now and then, too, not a very good idea.
No, yeah, bad idea.
So you guys pull in, or Ethan pulls into the lot. Can you tell us in the car, so he's driving, Ethan's driving, where are you?
I'm in the passenger.
Front seat passenger?
Yeah, front seat passenger, yeah.
Okay, and do you recall where Makai and Lamarian are?
I think Makai's behind Ethan in the back seat, and then Lamarion's in behind me.
Lamarian's behind you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pull in and, like, you know, is the car, do you park the car?
Yeah.
Ethan, not you, does Ethan park the car?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, and what, you know, is anything being said in the car? Like, who's going to shoot, or who had the guns?
It was like, I had mine, and then Ethan like passed his back to Makai.
Okay. And what'd you guys do?
So he parked, like, I thought we were just gonna drive by, but he like parked it, and so like we got out.
Who's we?
Me and Makai.
You got out of the car?
Yeah.
And what did you do?
We just like walked up to the edge of the fence, and we're just like shooting the gel balls through the fence.
Into the basketball court?
Yeah.
Did you know the people on the court?
I did not know.
Did you recognize them at all?
No.
All right, so you're shooting the gel balls into the court. What happens as you're doing that?
They kind of like back up to the other side of the court, and as like when they back up, we start to back up, go back to the car.
Okay. Is anything being said? Are you saying anything to them as you're shooting the gel balls into the court?
No, we're not saying anything.
Okay. Were they saying anything to you?
At the time, like when we first started shooting, no, I don't think so.
Okay. So you head back to the car,
Yeah.
and what happens then?
They start coming out the sides, like, of the fence. I think it was, like, Donovan Jones was the person who started, like, first approaching the car.
Okay, so when you say they, they're coming out the court entrance there?
Yeah, it's, like, on the far side, it's on the entrance.
All right. And how many people were on the court at that time?
4.
Okay. Fair to say 3 males and a female?
Yeah.
All right, so who starts to come out of the court towards the car?
Donovan Jones.
Okay, anybody else?
I'm not too sure.
Okay, so they are all 3 men then go coming out of the court towards the car?
Like, Donovan Jones, the person who, like, immediately kind of started coming after, and then the other 2 did a little, like not even a minute after that.
Start coming towards the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you getting back in the car? Are you still out of the car?
So as I saw them approaching, I got back in the car on the front passenger side, and Makai got in on the other side, and I think Makai just like gave Ethan his gun back.
I'm sorry?
He gave Ethan his gun back.
Okay, so Makai's getting in behind Ethan in the driver's side.
Yeah.
And you get back into the front seat, passenger side.
Yes.
Okay. What happens after that?
So Donovan Jones starts like approaching the car, and so at this point Ethan like gets out of the driver's seat with the gun, and like they start like fighting over the gun and fighting each other.
Okay, so let's say they. So how many people of the men there at the court, how many people are at the car when they start fighting over the gun?
Just Donovan Jones right now, just him right now.
You said Donovan Jones started fighting over the gun?
Yes.
Okay, then what happens?
They like just start like going like back and forth, and then other two come in and start fighting and like jumping him.
Okay, so who at this point is Ethan? Of the four of you guys from Ethan's car,
Yeah.
who's fighting?
Like Ethan, like versus all of them.
Versus all of them, meaning how many people?
Like three.
Three.
Yeah.
And did you later learn the names of all three of them?
Yeah.
Okay. What in terms of fighting? I guess let's start with if it's. So it starts out as 1-on-1 and then ends up being 2 or 3-on-1?
Yeah, it's like 3-on-1 after that, after
right.
the 1-on-1.
And when you say fighting, what body parts are we talking about?
I mean, just like throwing punches.
Okay. Who is throwing punches?
I can't really tell from the, just everybody basically.
Okay, so Ethan's throwing punches?
I mean, just to defend himself, yeah.
Okay, and the other three are also throwing punches?
Yes.
And is that happening right outside the car?
No, it's like, it started outside the car, the 1-on-1. It kind of like escalated down towards the farther end of the parking lot.
And I think you said at first it started over kind of a grabbing at or the
Yeah.
gun itself, this black ball
Yes.
gun. Did you see anybody shoot the gun?
Like when he was approaching the car at first, I think Ethan kind of like shot a couple times at him.
Okay.
But like in a joking manner, not in like, this gun isn't going to hurt you if somebody's approaching you. It's not going to like hold somebody back.
What, and why would you say that Ethan was shooting the gun in a joking manner? How did you know that?
I mean, it wasn't like, when somebody's going to fight another person, they're not going to shoot a jug gun at them. Like, it's like, you can tell when somebody's like, when two people are going to like go at each other.
So what was Ethan's demeanor at that time?
Just like normal, like almost like jokingly.
Okay. So the fight used to kind of moves away from the car about, can you tell about how far from the car the fight moved away?
Maybe like 15, 20 feet.
I'm sorry?
15 or 20 feet.
Okay. And can you still see the fight going on from where you are?
Yeah.
Are you inside or outside the car at this time?
I'm outside the car.
So you got out?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's Ethan, and it's still, how many people fighting Ethan?
3.
3. I guess take us through like what you see going on with the fight.
So it's just like, it's kind of like, from where I was standing, it's just like a ball of people, and then Ethan gets like knocked out, and then he's on the ground, and then they're like stomping and kicking.
So you say Ethan gets knocked out or to the ground?
Yes.
Did you see him fall to the ground?
Yes.
Did he move or get back up after that?
No.
And you said we're still talking 2 or 3 people?
3.
3. And as Ethan's passed out on the ground, describe what they're doing.
Like kicking him, stomping him.
Anybody punching him at that point?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. And obviously he's not getting back up and...
Yeah, no.
Okay. How does that kicking him when he's on the ground or stomping him when he's on the ground, how does that end?
I mean, like after, like, obviously you can tell like he's unconscious, so after a while they stop and then walk away.
Okay, where do they walk to?
Like back over towards the back half of like the parking lot near the basketball court.
Okay, and what do you do?
That's when like Makai gets in the like driver's seat and drives over because we were trying to get Ethan out of there.
Okay, so Makai gets in the driver's seat. Are you back in the passenger front seat?
Yeah.
Where's Lamarian?
Lamarion kind of like, he was like halfway between when they were fighting, and then he kind of like went down, like as they were walking away, like over Ethan kind of.
Okay, so Lamarian is out of the car during the fight for some part of it?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he walks towards Ethan
Yes,
as defendants are walking away?
yes.
All right. Do you see what Lamarian's doing over by Ethan?
I mean, just like standing, crouching. Yeah,
Say that again for me, I'm
like
sorry.
standing, just like near where he was laying at.
Okay, so Makai then does what with the car?
So we were up near the basketball court still, like where we originally parked the car. I was there as well. We both get in the car, drive down to where Ethan was laying at.
Okay, and where Ethan was laying, he was kind of, fair to say, under that kind of one lamppost that's there?
Yeah.
What do you guys do when you get over to him?
We're kind of like, we're trying to get him into the car because we know that, like, we thought he just got knocked out at the time. And so we were going to, like, try to just, like, get him in the car. Like, we didn't want to be there anymore. We never wanted to, like, fight these guys. And so we were just wanted to, like, get him help, get him out of there and go.
Okay. Were you able to get him in the car?
No.
What did you move him at all?
Like, we tried to, and then, like, Donovan Jones came back over to stop us from doing that.
Okay, so you say Donovan Jones comes back over to you guys where you're trying to get Ethan in the car?
Yeah.
And what happens?
So Makai has his door open, like, seeing what's going on, and Donovan Jones, like, kind of, like, is just, like, resting over the top, like, leaning on his car and, like, preventing us from getting him in there.
Okay. Donovan Jones is there. Is any of the other two from the court, do they come over to the car?
Not till, like, a little bit after, like, he originally comes over.
Okay. And the other two then come over and join Donovan at the car, at the Ethan's car?
Yeah.
And what is happening then when they're all three back at the car?
So, well, Donovan's, like, kind of getting after Makai, like, saying stuff to him, and you can hear in, like, the 911 call, that Makai is saying, I don't want to fight you, I don't want to do, like, we just, like, basically just, like, leave us alone. And Donovan Jones is, like, not, like, letting us, like, get this, like, not letting us get Ethan in the car. And so Makai tells me to call 911. And that's when, like, Donovan was, like, just, like, kind of, like, reaching in, like, grabbing, and then he punched me in the face, and I dropped the phone.
Okay. So you do make a 911 call?
Yes.
All right. When is it that the other two basketball players come over to the car?
I'm not sure if it's, like, before or after the 911 call, but I just remember one of the Stafford brothers was, like, running up and like, kicking the car window, like, on my side, because they were trying to get us out, and, like, I wasn't gonna get out. And so he would, like, run up and, like, lungefully, like, kick the window, like, trying to break it in.
Okay, so you have Donovan on one side of the car, Makai's side where he's driving, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you have, is it Deshawn on the other side, or which one?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so one of the Stafford brothers is trying to kick the window, of your window.
Yeah.
And all three of you now are back in the car?
Lamarion's not in the car. He's still out, kind of. Or he's, like, kind of, like, near the outside of the car.
Okay. And what is what are defendants saying? Like, what's happening when the window's getting kicked?
They're just telling us to, like, get out the car, and we're saying, like, we don't want to fight y'all, like, leave us alone. But they're just, like, insisting that we get out the car and that we fight them.
Okay, so what happens then?
So, like I said, I got punched, dropped in the phone, as Donovan Jones was, like, trying to, like, come in and get after us. And then I look over, and, like, Makai and Lamarion are just running. So I opened up the door, like, the passenger side door, to get out. And whichever Stafford brother was, like, kicking the window, he was like, give me like, the gel gun. And so as I got out, he took the gun and, like, hit me over the head. And then I ran, like, away through, like, the drive-through of the McDonald's, and Donovan Jones was, like, chasing after me.
Okay. And of the two Stafford brothers that are here, you don't know which one it was that hit you with the gun on the head?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. So why was it that you ran?
I mean, I was the only one left, and I saw the other two do that, so that's what I did.
So we know Donovan Jones was saying stuff about trying to fight you. Were the Stafford brothers doing the same thing?
I'm not too sure. I just heard yelling. Kind of like when it first happened, they were like saying, "Don't make me go get my gun. Don't make me go get my 9."
Go ahead. What were you saying? Go ahead.
So, like, those were like all that they were saying. Oh, and also like when I was running away, they're like, "This is my car now," talking about Ethan's car.
Okay. Did you see, as you were running away, what happened with Ethan's car?
No.
Okay. Do you know what happens to the two splat guns?
I just know that one of the Stafford brothers took one from me.
When you run through the McDonald's like parking lot, where are you going? What's on your mind?
I just wanted to like get to market, maybe like have people see me, or like get help, and also it's like I just wanted to like go like run home.
Okay. And how far is your house from there? If you're running home, how long did it take you?
Probably like 15 minutes, 20 minutes,
Okay.
maybe longer.
And as you're like, are you running straight home or what were you doing?
Yeah, I was just like running straight home.
Okay. Did you see, after you ran away, did you see the defendants again?
No, like I didn't know if they were gonna try to like chase me down. So like, whenever a car would come up behind me, I would just like either duck into like behind a tree or just like try to like not be like on the main street. But I did not see them after that. No.
All right. And when you get home, what do you do?
I run upstairs, and I just go get my parents. Yeah.
Okay. You told them what happened?
I mean, yeah, like my face was all bloody, so they were kind of already like freaking out. And I told them what happened, and I just said that I'm not sure what happened to Ethan.
Okay. All right. Later, I guess after your dad goes to the scene and talks with police, you make a statement to the police. You go down to the police department and talk to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Described, I guess it had just happened pretty much, right?
Yeah, a little like my dad went down to like try and help, and then he like made a statement to the police and said that I was there. So then the police came and picked me up, and I went down to the police station with Lamarion and Mackay.
All right. At what point did you learn that Ethan had actually died?
Sorry.
All right,
My dad called my mom and said that Ethan died, and I just knew from my mom's reaction what happened. I kind of just dropped to the floor and I didn't know what to do.
When you last saw Ethan, he was on the ground, right? Did you see what he looked like, what his face looked like, or anything like that?
No.
You never got that close to see that?
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna, you said you made a 911 call, and we're gonna go ahead and play that for you. So tell us if you recognize it.
Right.
Yep. Thanks. So you called 911 from your phone?
Yeah.
And where did your phone end up, if you know?
I'm not sure, somewhere in the car, because I dropped it when I got hit.
Okay. So this is gonna be marked as State's Exhibit, what, 37? 37? We're gonna go ahead and play State's Exhibit 37.
June 2nd, 2022, 22 hours, 43 minutes, 34 seconds.
Stafford 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Oh, what?
King School, or no, we're at the I Promise School in Akron, Ohio.
Okay.
Our friend just got knocked out.
Okay.
We don't know what to do.
What is your name?
My name is Ephraim Stefanko.
Okay. Is there a fight happening there now?
Hey, man. We're sorry, man. We didn't mean it. Sorry, what was that?
Is there a fight going on?
There was.
Okay. Are the other people still there?
Yeah, it's all good. It's okay, though. It's cool now. It's cool now.
Okay. Is your friend unconscious?
Yeah.
Is he breathing?
Is he breathing? Yeah, he's breathing. He's breathing.
Okay. Are you with him now?
Yeah.
How old is he?
I'm not trying to fight, though.
How old is
What was
he?
that? I can't.
How old is he? Hello?
He's 15.
He's 17? Hello? Are you still here?
We'll stop it at 1:27. So we hear some voices in the background, and we hear some, like, just, I guess, movement or something. Describe what's happening.
Like I kind of said before, like, Makai told me to call 911, and like I said, Donovan Jones was, like, trying to get in at us, so Makai had, like, backed up on top of me, almost, like, on the center console, like, just trying to get away from this guy, and you can kind of hear him say, like, we're not trying to fight y'all, we don't want to fight y'all.
That's what Makai's saying.
Yes.
And then you say something like, it's cool now. What is that about? What do you mean?
I mean, when people are trying to get you, you don't want to be like, yeah, like, I just wanted to, like, calm the situation. Like, I didn't want them to think, like, I was just, like, I just wanted to, like, make the situation, like, calmer. Like,
So you're saying it's cool now to them?
yeah. Like, kind of to both, almost. Like, I was, like, almost, like, reassuring, like, yeah, it's cool, but also to, like, the person on the phone.
Okay. So when you're saying it's cool, it's directed towards the Stafford brothers and Donovan Jones?
Yeah.
Trying to kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, just kind of like cool the situation down? Like,
Yes.
It's cool, it's okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and I think that right at the end here, what happens to your phone call?
Well, I just get punched and I drop it, so I guess it didn't, like, hang up, so.
Okay, so if I resume at 1:27,
Sure.
I think caller's asking if you're still there.
Hello?
And then you didn't have any other contact with 911 after that?
No.
Okay. So obviously that's your voice, and that fairly inaccurately is a fair and accurate recording of your 911 call that night?
Yeah.
And you said you were like bleeding, or have you? Did you have what were you bleeding from, or what was the injury?
Just had, like, scratches on my hand because he was just trying to get in there at anything. And I got, like, punched just, like, right in the face, so I had, like, just a swollen lip and a bloody nose.
So you guys said that you played basketball at the I Promise School before.
Yeah.
The shooting at people in the court, was that the first time that ever happened?
Yeah.
What about when you guys were on the court?
Like, had anybody come there?
To shoot at you?
Yeah, before. Like, one time, just, like, somebody, like, one of our friends from Firestone, like, had a splat ball gun as well, and they just, like, wanted to mess around.
So did the I Promise School to shoot at you?
Yeah, like, when I was playing basketball there one time.
All right. I have to figure out what number this is. We're going to show you what we previously marked as State's Exhibit 33. You know that there's videos from the I Promise school that night, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you've seen those before today?
Yes.
So this is State's Exhibit 33. I'm going to play it, and then as we go along, ask you some questions about it, okay?
Okay.
And you can see it probably on your screen right there. I'm going to jump ahead in the video. On the counter down below to back up a little bit. Here we go, sorry. Okay, so when you guys pull in, I'm going to start there, right about at 1:42. Okay, you see Ethan pulling his car in there?
Yeah.
You said you were front seat passenger, so are you getting out right now?
I am, yeah.
All right, and you see you got the splat blaster, you and Mackay?
Yeah.
And you're the one who runs a little further, like you're still running right now?
Yeah.
And what was their reaction when you shot the splat blaster at them in the court?
They kind of just went to the other side of the court.
And you said you're not saying anything when you're doing that?
Yeah, no.
All right, we see you get back in the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Now, the person running over with the basketball, do you know who that was?
Donovan Jones.
Is that your memory of it? Or?
Yeah, it's my memory of it.
All right, so one person's there, and now we have another, one of the Stafford brothers coming over. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So you're out of the vehicle. What's happening?
So this is when they started, like, all going, like jumping him, basically.
That's you kind of walking to the front of the vehicle?
Yeah.
All right, so that's you getting in the vehicle?
Yeah.
So Mackay is now getting in the front seat, and he's the one driving over towards Ethan, right?
Yeah.
Now that person walking back over to your car, I think you said that was Donovan Jones?
Yeah.
So you're still in the front. Do you get out to try to get Ethan in the car, or how does that work?
No, I stayed in.
So it's Mackay and Lamarian?
Yeah.
I'm going to stop it at 412. I'm actually going to back it up. At 1:42. So when you get out and you're running over there, that's kind of on that little sidewalk area, or is it on the grass, what you're running on?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's like the sidewalk leading up to the entrance, and then there's like a grass hill kind of going down.
Okay. Now, I think you stated just a little while ago Oh, hold on, let's get to it, sorry, you're running back. And that first person running over, you stated that's Donovan Jones?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that would be my question, are you sure? Because I think at another point, maybe you said it was somebody else. Do you remember for certain today which one it was that ran over first?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. So when you run off, you head sort of, I guess, to that bright area to the left of the screen. That's where the McDonald's is.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you're running away, do you see Ethan? Do you see what state he's in at that time?
No.
Okay. So you used the name Donovan Jones here in your testimony. Did you know that person? Did you know him prior to this event?
No.
So you learned his name from like law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. When you guys were running over there and shooting into the court, could you tell or do you know if the gel balls hit any of the people on the basketball court?
No.
You don't know, or you?
Like they didn't. Yeah, I don't know if it hit or not.
Okay. The first person who runs over to the car, that we see in the video come over to the car, do you remember what they look like or give any kind of description of them when you were talking to police?
No, I couldn't.
Sorry?
I couldn't remember. No.
You can't remember now
No,
what they look like? Okay. And in regard to Donovan Jones, do you recall what he was wearing at all?
And he didn't have like a shirt on.
He did not have a shirt on?
Yeah, no.
What about the Stafford brothers? Did they have shirts on?
I think so.
Say it again for me.
Like, I think so, but I can't fully remember.
Okay. Okay, I don't have any further questions for you, but both these gentlemen may.
Go ahead, Mr. Sen.
Hello. Good afternoon. Is it Ephraim or Ephraim?
Ephraim.
Hi, Ephraim. My name's John Sin, and I am one of the attorneys in this case, and I'm going to ask you some questions. If I ask you anything that doesn't make sense or feels like I'm trying to trick you, you can just stop me and I'll try and rephrase you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
How old are you?
19.
You were 17 back then?
Yeah.
And you're going to Stark State?
I am, yeah.
Good for you. What are you taking up?
Psychology.
Okay. And Ethan and you have been pretty good friends for lots of years.
Yeah.
And I can tell you're getting pretty emotional even thinking about that, so I honestly am very sorry for your loss. It can't be easy losing a friend. Is this the first friend you've ever lost?
Yeah.
Okay. You were talking to the prosecutor, and you're talking about Ethan being an athlete, and I know that he was a baseball player and a football player. Is that true?
Yeah.
Did you play baseball and football with him, or just baseball?
Just baseball.
Okay. There's a website called Max Preps, and that tells me stats, and that says that Ethan was varsity baseball number 11. Is that what you remember?
Yes.
It also says that Ethan was varsity football number 12. Is that what you remember?
Yes.
And then it says QB and MLB. I took that to mean quarterback and maybe middle linebacker. Did Ethan want to be a quarterback?
I remember him playing quarterback like on JV, maybe his sophomore year, but
Okay.
not on varsity now.
Okay. But he was going into his senior year, and I guess summer camp and all that stuff, they don't really determine who's going to be senior year until senior year.
Yeah, no.
You know, I wasn't a football player either. Okay. So you and Ethan have been friends for a long time, and as you know, you've had over a year to kind of live with this situation and grieve and all this stuff, and now we're in court and we're just trying to get things straight. And so some things have come out that are uncomfortable to talk about, but we got to talk about it. Okay. One thing is there's marijuana, and I bet I smoked marijuana at your age and you smoke, but you smoke marijuana, right?
I did on that night, yes.
Okay. And it is not a secret that Ethan was selling marijuana that night.
He didn't tell me that we were going to do that.
Okay.
But
I know, and I know it's uncomfortable. You said earlier that you kind of, I think your words were that, I think Ethan brought marijuana, but you know who brought the marijuana that night, right?
other people could have brought it in, I'm not sure.
Okay. So if the other boys from the car say that they had texted Ethan to buy marijuana, and they're out in the hallway, they're going to testify, right? If they say that they texted Ethan to buy marijuana, that Ethan was delivering the marijuana and you were sitting next to him, are you saying that you had no knowledge that he was selling marijuana that night?
I didn't know.
Okay.
I knew that we were going to go smoke with them, but it's not like the dealing part. I didn't know that.
How did you know you guys were going to go smoke?
He told me.
Okay. So he said, we're going to go smoke with these two guys.
Yeah.
And you know these guys, but they're not guys that you run with on a regular basis. Is that accurate?
I mean, yeah, not often, no.
Okay. Ethan picks you up and you're just going to ride sidekick for the night, basically?
Basically, yeah.
Did you have your own weed?
No.
Okay. So Ethan tells you you're going to smoke and you're going to go, and then you gave some statements earlier that we've got, and you said that you were kind of surprised, or at least you didn't know you were going to see the other two boys until you were in the driveway.
I knew that we were going to get them.
Okay. Were you present the whole time?
Yes.
With them? Okay. Tell us about the actual transaction with the marijuana. How did that happen, and what did you observe?
I mean, like I said, we just shot at them with the splat ball gun, and then they got in the car and we were just rolling the weed.
They do what?
We were rolling the weed.
Rolling the weed, okay. But those guys were purchasing weed. Do you know how much they were purchasing?
No.
Did you see them purchase weed?
No.
Where did Ethan keep the weed in the car?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Where did he get it out from?
I can't remember.
Do you remember him having a scale in the car?
Yeah.
What do you do with the scale?
I mean, you weigh weed to see how much it is, like how many grams or whatever.
And so these guys get in the car, and then you all decide to go smoke. Now, I'm going to go back to the original phone call. He didn't tell you he told you on the phone you guys were going to smoke tonight, right?
Yeah, he texted me.
Okay. Was the first time you ever smoked in your life with Ethan?
No.
Okay. Do you know where Ethan got his weed from?
No.
You smoked with Ethan before.
Yes.
What about the splat ball? Was it your idea or his idea to bring the splat ball?
It was both of ours.
Well, you testified earlier that Ethan texted you and said, bring your splat.
Well, originally we got our guns together.
Okay.
So it wasn't all his idea. It was 50-50.
How long before this did you get your guns?
Maybe a month and a half.
And where'd you get them at?
Walmart.
Whose idea was it to get splat guns?
Both of ours.
All right. And that splat gun right there, is that your splat gun or his splat gun?
I don't know. They're the same. We had the exact same model.
How do these things work?
How do they work?
Yeah.
You put gel balls in the gun and you shoot them.
Now there's a battery, right?
Yes.
Can you tell by looking whether this one's yours or somebody else's?
We had the same one.
Did you charge your battery up before you went out that night?
I think I just had it on the charger before. I kind of just always did. Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Now, theoretically, this thing hasn't been fired in over a year, right?
Right.
Okay, but It's either yours or Ethan. Did you guys do a lot of shooting with it before that night?
Like we just shot each other with it.
Okay. And you jumped out and you shot the other two boys when you got there, right?
Yes.
All right. So, what's this thing do? You put this magazine in it,
Yeah.
and the magazine holds like 20,000 pellets?
Something, yeah.
Do you know if this battery's charged?
I don't know.
So is that the top of
Yes.
it? Okay. So this is what you guys have when you're gonna go do this thing. Now you said a TikTok thing. Do you have TikTok?
I do.
I have TikTok too. And you said you guys weren't doing the Orbeez challenge, right?
No.
But anybody who's got TikTok could tell you that the Orbeez challenge is a thing, and we even had a cop tell us that he didn't realize until after this that law enforcement's got to deal with this thing where kids are going out and spraying people with these guns. Did you know about that?
I have seen videos of people having them on TikTok.
Okay. So the idea being, you're gonna scare people, but you're not gonna hurt them.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Okay. So Ethan tells you on that night to bring your splat, but you're man enough to say today that both of you guys knew what you were doing when you bought the things, and both of you guys knew what was going to happen that night.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not putting that all on him.
No.
So you're not driving the vehicle, Ethan is. And at some point, you're driving by, I promise, and you see kids on the court. Is that accurate?
We just see people, yeah.
Yeah, but you actually say, hey, there's kids on the basketball court.
Yeah,
Now,
sure.
you played basketball there before, right?
Right.
And you actually have played with these two kids, or at least you've been on the court with these two guys before, right?
No.
No, you never saw Stafford brothers before?
No.
Maybe that may have, sorry, maybe that was one of the other boys. Do you think you've ever met them before? You've seen them before?
I don't think so. There's like a lot of people always down to I Promise, maybe.
Okay. What about Donovan Jones?
No, I've never met him or seen him before that night.
But over the course of the year, have you learned who's who?
I know who Donovan Jones is, but I don't know. I know Deshawn Stafford. That's the only name I can remember right now.
So you know Sean, but you know Donovan.
Yeah.
Okay. And on this night, you pull up there, but you don't know, you don't recognize boys that you know. This is just going to be a prank, really.
Right.
And you guys jump out, and you grab these things, and now Ethan's got his own gun, and you got your gun. Ethan doesn't jump out of the car?
No.
Who has Ethan's gun?
Makai.
Okay. And so Makai's got Ethan. How did Makai get Ethan's gun? Do you know?
I think like at some point either Ethan just like passed it back when we were driving, or like, yeah.
Did Makai ask for it, or did Ethan say, take my gun and go shoot?
I can't remember.
Okay. But at some point, Ethan chooses to pull in, I promise. Was that his choice or somebody else's?
I think it was a joint. Like we all wanted, like we were all like agreed. Yeah.
Okay, y'all knew what you were going to do. You weren't going to stop and play basketball.
No, yeah.
But you thought it was just going to be a drive-by. You didn't realize that anybody was going to stop, right?
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Yeah.
It was a drive-by, and you guys. Well, let me ask this. I mean, you thought they were just going to hang him out the windows.
Right.
And then Ethan stops.
Right.
And Ethan says, get out.
He's not like telling us to get out. We kind of just like, oh, we stopped. Let's get out.
And then you run down the parking lot, down that sidewalk, and
Yes.
Okay. And those kids took off running.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you'd smoked some weed before this, right? You guys had stopped and smoked.
Right.
How much? And you rolled some up. How much did you smoke?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
So you're pretty clear-headed with a pretty good memory of what happened here. You're not confused because you were high.
No, yeah. I was like not even high.
Okay. So you're not high. You jump out. You get back in the car, and you guys are going to take off, and no harm, no foul. Kids didn't get hurt. They didn't fall down. They're just rubber bullets or rubber gel plastic things.
Right.
Lo and behold,
I didn't know it at the time, but
You know who Donovan Jones is,
yeah.
and now you know who Deshawn is.
I don't know like which one between the two.
Okay. And Donovan's a big guy,
Yeah, he was like probably like 6 foot.
and he walks up to Ethan. Now, how does Ethan get from the driver's seat where he's in the car outside the car?
He opens the door and steps out.
Okay. Do you know why he stepped out?
I don't know. He just stepped out.
Okay. And that says Donovan's walking up.
Yeah.
So Donovan's walking up, and Ethan at that point gets out of the car. Now, is there any reason you thought he was going to take off, didn't you? You thought you guys were going to drive away.
Yeah, for the most part.
Did any of you guys tell Ethan to get out and shoot at Donovan?
No.
No one made him do that?
No.
And then I assume that every time I hear this little sound, a BB comes out, right? Or a little gel thing comes out.
I mean, yeah.
Like 7 of them a second?
I don't know.
So you see Ethan, then Donovan Jones, you see Ethan just kind of shoot Donovan in the face.
Well, I wasn't in the face, I don't think.
You know what I mean?
No.
Where was he shooting at?
Probably like in the chest area.
Okay. And Ethan, you thought, maybe Ethan thought it was a prank. I mean, Ethan thought it was funny, I guess. And I don't even frame it that way. So Ethan didn't know that Donovan wasn't as serious as he was.
Yeah.
Ethan thought maybe that Donovan would come up and get the joke, and he shoots him, and Donovan gets up and they start fighting.
Yeah.
And you indicate in an earlier statement that they're tussling. You don't know who was swinging at that point in time. It just seems like they're wrestling around.
Right, yeah.
And then Donovan and him move off to the dark. I say dark to us because we saw it on video, but they move away from the car out towards the middle of the parking lot, and you kind of stay by the front of the car.
Yeah.
And at this point, the Stafford brothers are coming over.
Right.
And I know you say that you see everybody throwing punches.
Right.
Ethan's throwing punches.
Yeah.
Donovan's throwing punches.
Yeah.
Stafford's are throwing punches.
Yes.
You even said in your earlier statement that there was a fourth person, the girl.
Yeah.
Did you see her doing stuff?
Like I said, it was just like a ball of people. I couldn't really tell. I just knew there was 4 in total there.
And who threw the punch that knocked Ethan to the ground?
I don't know.
You have no idea on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
I mean, I know it wasn't Donovan Jones because he isn't here today. But during that knowledge, like, I had no clue who threw the punch.
yeah, but that's like a big assumption. I mean, you know, I realize he's not charged. So is that the only way you know that it wasn't him? Is because they didn't charge him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, like, didn't one of the Stafford brothers admit to throwing the punch that knocked him out?
You heard that somewhere?
Yes.
Okay. There's been a lot of talk about this thing, right? You're in the Firestone community. This is a tragedy, so it's kind of hard to keep track of who did what. But if you take away things you heard, and we just go by things that you know because you observed it, you saw Donovan walk up to the car, fight Ethan, and then you saw 3 other people get into the fight, and then they're all fighting, and the next thing you know, Ethan's on the ground.
Yes.
And you can't, on your own personal observations, say who threw that punch or didn't throw that punch.
I'm not sure.
And if the defense was trying to say that Donovan didn't approach the car, Deshawn did, you'd say, BS, I was there.
I would say I can't fully remember.
Okay. So you don't know who did. All right, so let's be clear with that. I mean, you're testifying right now.
Right.
How good's your memory on this thing?
For most of it, like I said, faces aren't that well. I wasn't trying to like directly look somebody in the face. I was trying to get after me.
And that's why you can't say who was throwing punches out there.
I mean, yeah, also it was like everybody was.
But Donovan's 6 foot. These kids are 5'5". Donovan doesn't have a shirt on, and he just told the story that Donovan's the one who walked up on Ethan first.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, was Ethan wearing a mask?
I don't think so. I can't fully remember.
Well, if I showed you your testimony from grand jury where you indicate that he's wearing a ski mask, would that help you?
Sure.
Do you remember talking to the grand jury?
I do, yeah.
Do you remember Ethan normally wearing a mask?
Like when we play like baseball or something, just to like hold your hair back, or football, or like wear it when you're cold.
Okay, when you're cold?
Yeah.
Was it cold out that night?
No.
1 second for me. Yeah, we can do that. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to show you your grand jury transcript from testimony you previously gave to the grand jury in Summit County, and I'm going to ask you to read. I'm going to ask you to read, just the first 10 lines for me.
Okay.
Read it to yourself.
Okay, read it to yourself.
All right.
So now, did that refresh your recollection? Thank you. As to what you told the grand jury, what happened that night?
I mean, I see the words on the paper, but
You didn't lie to the grand jury.
no.
What did you tell the grand jury that when you were under sworn testimony? What did you tell them? What did you tell them he was wearing on his face that night?
Like just what I had remembered.
Okay, so what was it?
That he was like, I couldn't really see his face. He either had a hat on,
Why couldn't you see his face?
because he was like laying on the ground.
I know that. What did you just read there that you said?
That he had a mask on.
Okay. You told the grand jury he was wearing a ski mask.
Okay.
It's okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I represent Tyler Stafford. I have some questions as well. I'll just start with this last thing. Is there some reason you don't want to say that he was wearing a ski mask?
No, I just can't fully remember.
But how could you remember when you told the grand jury?
It's been a year and a half almost.
So maybe you remember it better now than you did then?
I mean, like maybe I remembered it better then. I mean,
Okay. But I mean, that testimony was, when was that? Do we know? Was that back in July of last year?
I don't know.
Okay. And in July, you said Ethan was wearing a ski mask. You couldn't see his face.
I never said that you couldn't see his face. I just said he had a mask on. It's a full like headed mask. Like you could pull it down, so where it was still like over your hair, and like that's how like whenever he did have it, like when we played football or when we play baseball, like that's how he would wear it.
Okay, 1 second.
Also, we were smoking weed. How are you gonna like smoke weed through the mask? It don't make no sense.
He wasn't wearing a ski mask because you were smoking weed?
Yeah, you have to have the
Oh.
mask off,
I see.
or like just like pulled down.
1 second. Madam President,
You may.
I'll show you your grand jury transcript. I'm looking at page 28. Okay. You were asked, what did he look like at that point?
Again to the sworn judge.
I can't read this to him.
No.
I just read that earlier.
What's that?
I just read that.
But you said that.
I know.
And you said, I couldn't tell because he had a mask on. You couldn't tell what he looked like because he had a mask on.
That's
This
when he was laying down.
This transcript is not accurate. Well, I have some other questions. So you mentioned smoking marijuana. I don't care who sold it or bought it. Let's talk about the effects. Can we agree that marijuana affects different people in different ways?
Sure.
Okay. Like you personally, does it make you more hyper? Does it make you more slow, more calm, more agitated? How would you describe it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Nope.
Okay. So now you've studied psychology a little bit?
Like a week.
You've been in college a week?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't know how marijuana affects you. You couldn't describe it?
No.
Okay. Do you know how it affects Ethan?
No.
Okay. Do you know how marijuana affects anybody?
I mean, it can make you, like, tired.
It can make you tired. Okay. So did it seem to make Ethan tired that night?
I don't know.
Well, after you smoked marijuana, Ethan drove you to the I Promise School.
Right?
And you got out and was running around with this weapon that we just saw, this splatter gun, right?
Yeah.
You didn't look tired. Were you tired when you were running?
We barely smoked.
Okay. Okay. But you and Ethan had very little marijuana, and that's why you weren't tired.
Sure.
Well, I want your testimony. It's not I want to know what you're here to testify about a very serious matter. This is very serious.
Right.
Okay. So it's not like, oh, whatever. Oh, who cares? This is important. What did you observe? Well,
Ask a question.
can you tell us how Ethan appeared to you on that night?
Normal.
Normal. Okay. Okay. Now, you said Ethan gave his gun to, is it Mackay?
Yes.
Okay. And so he gave his weapon, his splatter gun to Mackay and said, get out and go with you and go shoot these basketball players.
Sure, yeah.
That's what happened?
He didn't, like, say go out and shoot. Mackay already had the gun.
I thought Ethan gave it to him. He had Ethan's gun the whole time you were in the car?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, you said that at some point, you and Mackay get back into the car after shooting.
Right.
Okay. At some point, do you tell Ethan, let's go?
No.
Okay. I mean, you're trying to simulate like a drive-by kind of shooting, right?
Sure.
I mean, at some point you thought they're going to shoot like maybe out the windows or something.
Yeah.
But instead, for whatever reason, two of you get out of the car. So, I mean, isn't the thing at a drive-by shooting, after you shoot, then you leave, then you take off?
Right.
But that's not what happened.
No.
No. Ethan stayed there and actually got out of the car.
Yeah.
And Ethan got out of the car when Donovan Jones approached.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was already out the car.
Okay. And you didn't hear Ethan, like, apologize, sorry for scaring you, nothing like that happened?
No.
And you didn't apologize, I'm sorry I scared you guys, nothing like that?
Later on, I was just saying I'm sorry.
When was that?
Like, when we drove the car down, when all of them were, like, around us, like, outside the car. Because we didn't want to do that no more.
You didn't want to do this anymore at that point?
Right.
Okay. And then you said that you think Ethan took his gun back from Mackay and shot Deshawn in the chest?
Yeah.
Not in the face?
No, not in the face.
Okay, not in the face. And you were able to see that?
Yeah, because I was
clearly.
looking over.
Okay. Okay. Now, you said you did see a mutual fight at
Yeah.
some point. It said at some point, their term was what, a ball of people?
I mean, like, it was just jumping him. 3-on-1 fight.
Well, okay. But, I mean, you were pretty close to what was going on at this point.
At first, yeah, and then it escalated down to when I wasn't that close.
When it escalated, you got farther away.
Right.
Okay. You tried to get farther away from the violence, let's say.
I just stayed where I was.
Well, if you were close to it in the beginning, and then when it escalated, you got farther away, it sounds like your distance changed.
Yes.
So you didn't stay in the same location. You moved at some point?
I stayed the same. Okay. When they were fighting, it moved down to the parking lot. I was at the top next to the car.
Oh, I see. You're saying they changed their location.
Yes.
Now I got you. And you said it's a ball of people. You're just seeing people swinging all over the place.
Right.
Including Ethan swinging at people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you said at some point you saw Ethan go down and hit the pavement.
Right.
Okay. You're not sure who hit him at that time, or you saw that happen?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, were you standing closer to him, or was it still that you had pretty distant when it happened?
When he got knocked out,
Yeah.
everybody, like the Stafford brothers and Donovan Jones, they walked away. Me and Makai got in the car and drove down where Ethan was laying at.
Okay. And did you and Makai try and move Ethan into the car?
No, I was like on the passenger side.
Okay. Was someone helping Makai try and move?
Lamarion was out there.
Okay. But the two of them were not able to do it. I mean, they tried and...
No, because Donovan Jones prevented us from that.
Okay. So, and also, is this around the time that you're making the 911 call?
Yeah, Donovan Jones comes over. He starts like harassing us in the car, telling us to get out. Then Makai tells me to call 911 because obviously they still want to fight or whatever.
Okay. And was it, did I hear in that 911 call someone say, he's still breathing? I heard that on the call.
Yeah.
Who said that?
I think either Lamarion or Makai. I want to say Lamarion because
Okay.
he was more near.
So your testimony is, one of your two friends said Ethan was still breathing, and you're trying to make a 911 call, and Donovan Jones comes in and stops you.
Right.
I mean, by hitting you,
Yes.
and that's when you drop the phone with the 911 operator.
Right.
Okay. And Donovan Jones is he's taller than the Stafford brothers.
Yes.
And we think he wasn't wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
And I know we're spending a lot of time talking about just like a minute or two of interactions, right?
Yeah.
But you said towards the end of this incident, if that's what we're going to call it, that the taller guy, Donovan Jones, he was chasing you around.
Yeah.
And at this point, he'd already hit you at least once.
Yes.
And so because of that, did you and everyone else say, we got to leave the scene, we can't make it, I mean, your phone's broken, I'm guessing at this point.
It wasn't like a discussion that we had to leave. I just looked over and the other, like Lamarion and Makai were like running away, so I didn't know what else to do.
I understand. I mean, you tried to make a 911 call, and Donovan Jones hit you and stopped the call.
Right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just had a couple
Redirect.
quick questions, yeah. So, when you're talking about Donovan, I just want to make sure we know the car ourselves. When you're talking about Donovan was swinging at you, so you're in the passenger front seat.
Right.
And at that point, Makai is in the driver's seat.
Right.
Donovan is at the driver's seat door or window.
Yes. At the door. The door was open.
The door was open. So he's swinging into the car at both Makai and you.
Yeah.
Because he'd have to be swinging like over Makai to hit you.
Yeah,
right?
he was just like kind of just like throwing punches in there.
Okay. And then we saw in the video, and you described a little bit earlier, that a second person, so one of the Stafford brothers, came up to your side of the car, to the passenger front seat car, and
Yeah.
was kicking at the window.
Yes.
Like trying to break the window?
Yes.
But you don't know which Stafford brother that is?
Yeah, I'm not
or
sure.
was. Okay. And you said, Ethan's fighting, but at one point it's 3 against 1. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Did Makai or Lamarion ever get any punches in? Were they ever involved in the fight?
No.
During the fight, where were they?
Makai was like standing like right outside when the car was back up near the fence. It's before we drove down.
Before it moved, okay.
Makai was like standing just like right outside the like driver's side door. Lamarion was like halfway between Makai at the car and like the fight.
Okay. So, but in the fight with Ethan and 3 other people, none of you guys, you or Lamarian or Makai, threw any punches or were involved physically in the fight.
No, not
It's
at all.
just Ethan alone against these 3.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on one second. All right, thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Sen? Mr. Gallo? All right, thank you, Mr. Stavanko. You may step down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going for an hour and 25 minutes, so let's take a short break at this time, just a 10 to 15-minute break, and we will resume.
All right.
we're up here now. We're good.
Yeah, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, that'd be great.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Please be seated.
Thank you, Judge. With the court's permission, the state of Ohio would like to call our next witness to the stand, Mr. Lamarion Dancy, please.
Okay, very good. Could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can take the witness stand. And sir, make sure you're staying close to the microphone and keep your voice up.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, can you please state your name and spell your first and last name, please, for the court reporter?
Lamarion Dancy, Lamarion Dancy.
Okay, and how old are you now?
18.
Okay. If I direct your attention back to June 2nd of last year, so last summer, how old would you have been then?
17.
Okay. And are you presently in school?
No.
Okay. Did you recently graduate?
Yes.
Where from?
Firestone.
Okay. And can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury here if you attended Firestone your entire high school career?
I went to Firestone from freshman year all the way to my junior year. I didn't go my senior year because of this incident. So,
Okay.
this incident.
Okay. So what did you do for your final year of schooling?
I went to an alternative school to receive the missing credits I didn't have, and I finished there. But I still got my diploma from Firestone.
Okay. So does that mean you didn't like physically go to Firestone for that last year?
No.
Okay. What do you do for a living now?
Actually, I do landscaping with a friend of mine and Makai. That's it.
I'm sorry, can you say that last part for me?
I do a landscaping with a friend of mine in Makai.
Okay, Makai Shady?
Yeah.
And do you have any long-term goals for the future?
I do, but I can't really think right now.
Okay. Did you think about going in the military or anything?
Yeah, the Navy.
Okay. Okay, you mentioned that you switched schools because of this incident. Can you tell the jury what you mean by that?
Like, I left Firestone because it was just was overwhelming at the time, and I didn't just want to be looked at different because of the situation, so I just separated myself from it.
Okay. And do you think that that was a good decision for you?
Yeah.
Did you know Ethan Liming?
Yeah.
Can you tell the jury how long you've known Ethan?
I know Ethan since I was in 6th grade, so we had a relationship all the way up to our junior year.
Okay. And did you just know him from school, or was there something else?
It was just school.
Okay. Did you guys ever play sports together or anything?
No.
Okay. No pickup basketball games or anything?
Yeah, we played pickup basketball, but for actual team or anything, no.
I'm sorry, can you say that again for me?
We played pickup basketball together, but we never played for like an actual team or
Okay,
anything.
so not organized sports?
No.
Okay. And was he a friend of yours?
Yeah.
And in the months leading up to June 2nd of last year, did your friendship with him change at all?
Yeah, like we started hanging out more. He started picking me up from work. I seen him more in school, like during lunch hours. So I communicate with him during then, and just mostly in school for the most part.
Okay. Did you guys have each other's phone numbers?
Yeah.
Would you ever call each other?
No.
Okay. Would you text each other?
Yeah.
Did you occasionally buy marijuana from Ethan?
Yeah.
Do you know if you were, if you did buy marijuana from him on June 2nd of last year?
Yeah.
Okay. When you said that Ethan would pick you up or take you to work, where were you working at the time?
Acme. The Acme on West Market.
Okay. Did any of your other buddies work there as well?
Yeah.
Who?
Makai.
Did you, or do you know Ephraim Stefanko?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you known Ephraim?
Since 6th grade.
Okay. And did you ever play organized sports with him?
No.
Did you ever play pickup sports with him?
Yeah.
Hey, was he a friend of yours?
Mhm.
Did you guys keep in touch?
No, not so much, but no, not really, no.
Okay. And then you mentioned that you know Makai, right?
Yeah.
And how long have you known Makai?
Since 6th grade.
Okay. And have you ever played organized sports with Makai?
No.
Did you ever play pickup sports with Makai?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys buddies?
Yeah.
And do you still keep in touch with Makai?
Yeah.
And did you mention that you still work with Makai?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever have Ephraim's phone number?
At that time?
Sure.
No.
Okay. Have you ever had his phone number ever in your life?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you call him ever?
No.
Would you text him?
No.
Okay. What about Makai? Do you have his number?
Yeah.
And you guys still text one another?
Yeah.
Do you ever call one another?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you would see Ethan at lunch at school. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys chat there?
Yeah, it's like, if I seen him, it's just a quick little conversation, like, what's up, like, what class you going to? Something short, not too much. Just...
Okay. Would you guys ever make plans talking at school?
No.
Okay. Did you communicate with Ethan on June 2nd of 2022?
Yes.
Do you recall how that conversation was initiated?
I just texted him for some marijuana, and that's how he came to my house.
Okay. So, can you tell the jury? Do you remember exactly, what the text message was to Ethan?
Nah, I can't remember exactly what I said. I just know I needed marijuana at the time, and that's what that was for.
Okay. And did he respond to you?
Yeah,
Do you recall what the response was?
I don't remember.
Do you know if he indicated he did have some weed to sell?
Yeah,
Okay. And then at some point, did you make plans to get together?
no, not until I met up with him that night. Like, it was kind of last second.
Okay. So how did that come about?
I was originally just going to get the marijuana from him, but he asked if I wanted to smoke with him. And me and Makai just decided to get in the car with him, and he was going to go smoke with him.
Okay, so let me back you up just a touch. Where were you when this communication was taking place?
I was at home.
Okay, and do you live near the I Promise school?
Yeah,
Okay, and who was with you at home?
my mom and Makai.
Okay, and did the plan become that Ethan would come over to your house?
No. Well, the only thing he was coming to my house for was to drop the marijuana off and allegedly leave, but that's not what happened.
Okay, so what did happen?
He told us, well, when he got outside, we went outside and Ephraim and him started shooting us with the splats. And after that, he had asked us, did we want to smoke? And me and Makai originally gave like a look like we didn't really want to go in there, but we just said forget it, and we went up the street and around the corner from my house to park in the car and smoke.
Okay, so you said that Ephraim and Ethan both were shooting you with the splat ball guns?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know if you were upset that they did that?
Nah, I was just like laughing.
Okay.
It was kind of like they caught me off guard. It was surprising.
Okay. Did Makai get upset?
Nah.
Do you know how far away Ephraim and Ethan were when they shot you with the splat ball guns?
Ephraim was like to my right. He was already out the car, and Ethan was in the car. So he was telling me and Makai to come to the car, and Ephraim kind of like surprised us, and he started shooting. And they just was both shooting at us at the time. So, yeah.
Do you know if they were closer than you and I are right now?
A little closer.
Okay. Did you get hurt from that?
No.
So you and Makai decided to get in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you recall what seats you and Makai climbed into?
He sat behind Ethan, and I sat behind Ephraim, which was behind the passenger.
Okay, so you're in the back passenger side seat?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And where do you guys go from there?
We go to a street that's it's somewhere up the street from my house, but not too far. It's around the corner, really. But we went there, and we parked there, and we started rolling the weed and stuff.
Okay, and you guys did smoke marijuana in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how long you were there?
Like 15 minutes.
Okay, and do you know who supplied that marijuana?
Yeah.
Who?
Ethan.
Okay. Was the plan to match Ethan and supply some of the weed as well?
Yeah.
Did that ever happen?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you guys were smoking weed in the car, were you stationary or were you driving around?
Stationary.
Okay. And you said you were there for about 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Then where did you go?
He got a text from somebody that needed marijuana, and we were on our way to there, but like the neighborhood's kind of small, so I forgot which way we drove. And we drove towards the school, and we saw people on the court, and we got the idea to shoot them with the splats.
Okay. And so let me back up just a touch. One thing I skipped over, who had the splatterball guns?
From when I got in the car, or
Yeah, from the get-go, who had them?
Ethan and Ephraim.
Okay. At some point, did you handle any of them?
Yeah, I had them in the back seat. Like, I touched them, but, like, I didn't, not the entire time, no. I didn't have them.
Okay. When you touched it, did you have the opportunity to see if the splatter balls themselves were possibly frozen?
Yeah.
Were they frozen?
No.
Okay. When you got hit with them initially,
Mm.
did you think that they were frozen?
No.
Okay. Is there a chance they were frozen? You have to answer out loud, please.
No.
Okay, so you said you did handle the splatterball gun.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do with it after you handled it?
I gave it back to Ephraim.
Okay, so Ephraim has a splatterball gun in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the other splatterball gun at that time?
When we're parked,
Yeah.
it's in Makai's hand.
Okay, so Makai has it.
Mm.
Do you know why Makai had the splatterball gun?
We just looking at it, expecting it, like, because it's a toy, and then just really just looking at it.
Okay. Okay, and then you said that you noticed people were at I Promise.
Yeah, once we got to driving, and we
Okay.
drove past it. Yeah.
Do you know who got the idea to pull in there?
No.
Okay, did you understand what was going to happen there?
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen?
Initially, it was supposed to be just like a playful, quick drive-by shooting, but we didn't do a drive-by. We stopped for some reason, and Ethan told us we had to get out and shoot him. Instead of doing a drive-by, they had to get out and shoot him.
Okay, so you think Ethan said something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he did.
Do you recall what his words were?
He said something like, you got to get out and walk him down or something like that. I don't know. Something like that.
Okay. And so at that point, who had the splatterball guns?
Makai and Ephraim.
Okay. And what happened next?
They get out and they started shooting at him.
Okay. And at this point, is it light out or is it dark?
It's dark.
Okay. Could you see what was going on from your spot in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. What was going on?
Ephraim and Makai are shooting at him, and Ephraim's getting kind of close towards the gate as he's shooting at him, and Makai is kind of like getting closer to the gate, but not really, shooting at him from a distance. That goes on for about, 10 seconds or something, and then they come back to the car. Makai comes back first, and then Ephraim.
Okay. When they came back, what were they doing?
We were about to leave, but Ethan told Makai to hand him the splat, and he got out and started shooting.
Okay, let me back you up just a touch. When they came back, did they think that they had upset the people on the court?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Okay, or did they think it was sort of a silly joke?
Like, we were laughing. I couldn't really tell how they were responding until I saw them get to the car. And then at that time, when they got to the car, I didn't know if they were serious or not, because it didn't give, like, he was mad at us.
Okay, hang on 1 second for me. Did you recognize any of the people at the basketball court?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me ask a follow-up on that. When you pulled in there with Ethan, did you immediately recognize people at the court?
No.
Okay. So as far as you knew, they were strangers?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said Makai and Ephraim run back to the car?
Mm-hmm.
Do they stay outside of the car or do they climb back in?
They get inside.
Okay. Does anybody get out of the car at that time?
After they get in, like, a couple seconds later, Ethan gets out with a splat.
Do you know why Ethan got out?
Because one of the people from the court came to the car and Ethan started shooting him. But then again, I didn't know if they were mad or playing or anything because they were laughing. It's just as much as we was laughing, well, not really like laughing, but they had like a smile on their face, so I couldn't tell if he was mad for real.
Okay. So initially, how many people came up to the car?
For what I remember, I can only see one because I'm looking out the back window and I'm looking at Ethan shoot him with the splat, and at the time I only see one.
Okay. And did that person have anything with them when they came up to the car?
They had a basketball before they came to the car, but they threw that before they got to the car.
Okay. Do you know who that person was?
I gotta say his name.
If you know his name.
I'm not really sure. I don't know.
Okay. Did he have any physical characteristics that were noteworthy to you?
Can you repeat that?
Did he have anything specific about him, clothing or a hairstyle that was significant to you?
Yeah, he had dye in his hair.
Okay, can you explain to the jury what you mean by that?
Like color in his hair.
Okay, and you sort of touched your hair as well?
Yeah.
Did that person have dreadlocks?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that they were dyed in some way?
Yeah.
Okay. Did the other guys have dyed dreadlocks?
No.
Okay, so were you able to see that person's face when he came up to the car?
Yeah.
Okay. What did he look like at that time?
He had his hair like kind of how I got mine right now, but it was shorter. I can't really remember that much.
Could you tell he was angry?
No.
Why not?
Because he had a smile on his face.
Okay. Was he saying anything at that time?
He said, he was saying, "Are you serious?" or something like that.
Okay. Do you know if Ethan was saying anything?
No. He was just kind of like laughing and shooting the gun because he's still thinking like it's not that serious yet. Like, we was all thinking it's a joke. Like, because I can't tell if he's mad or angry or I don't know.
Okay. Could you tell when Makai and Ephraim first ran up to the basketball courts and were shooting the guns, could you tell if the people on the court were getting hit with the splatter balls?
Yeah, they kind of moved, like they got hit, but then one of them just stood there because they realized, like, I don't know, maybe it's a toy gun, it's not really a real gun. But yeah, you can see they reacted once the shot started firing.
Okay. Okay, so you said that the person who approached the car was saying, are you serious?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, what happened next?
He grabbed the gun out of Ethan's hands and they started fighting.
Okay, can you describe how that fight started?
Just like, so Ethan was shooting him and he kind of like grabbed the gun and to prevent him from shooting him still, and then he punched him and he grabbed the gun from him and basically tried to get him to stop shooting. Well, just grabbed it from him and started punching him, or he punched him after he grabbed it.
Okay, so I'm sorry, you're saying that this person punched Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay, then what happened?
The fight broke out.
Okay, can you describe what happens next in that sequence?
It's kind of like like just punches back and forth, a little tussle going down the hill towards the pole or whatever, and he's outnumbered, just 3-on-1, and I'm in the back seat at the car at the time seeing it, but once I realized like he's outnumbered, I get out the car, but by the time I even get to him or anything, he already was knocked out.
Okay, let me back you up just a touch. So you see the first punch thrown, and you said that the fight starts up.
Mhm.
Are these two guys like wrestling or punching one another? What's going on?
It's like a mixture of both. Like it's kind of like wrestling and just throwing punches. And
Okay, and then at some point, does another person enter that mix?
yeah.
Do you know who that was?
No, I think the brother.
Okay, so
believe.
you think the first guy's brother joined in at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, and at that time, is that still occurring right by the car?
No, it's going towards down where he was last lane. Like he's getting to where he was last lane, and like he's getting to that pole. That's like the fight is escalating down. It's moving down to there.
Okay, so the brother jumps in, and it's moving down
Yes.
towards the pole.
Yeah.
Does anybody else jump in?
I don't really remember.
Okay. At some point, did anybody from the car with you jump into the fight?
No.
Did you hit anybody?
No.
Did Makai hit anybody?
No.
Did Ephraim hit anybody?
No.
Were you yelling at these guys or challenging them in any way?
Yeah, I got close to try to get him to stop, but I tapped his back and he flinched at me and I backed up.
Okay, let me back you up just a touch, sir. So, you said that the fight was moving down towards the light pole, right?
Yeah.
Do you recall if that light pole was giving off any light?
Yeah.
Okay. And could you see what was going on?
Yeah.
Okay. At this point, are you in the car or out of it?
I'm actually like moving towards it. I'm out the car, like moving towards the fight.
Okay. And do you know where Ephraim and Makai were at this point?
At the car.
Okay. Do you know if they were in the car or just standing by it?
Standing by it.
Okay. And you're moving towards the fight?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you consider jumping into the fight?
Yeah. But I didn't.
Okay. At this point, where is Ethan?
On the ground.
Okay. Did you see Ethan get knocked to the ground?
Yeah.
Can you please describe to the jury how that came about?
He hit him and it's like his whole body just locked up and froze and he just hit the ground and I'm sorry.
Okay, so, and I'm sorry this is difficult, sir, but we kind of have to get into the specifics of it. At the time that you saw that happen, what was the number of the fight? Was it a one-on-one fight, a two-on-one fight? What was going on?
2-on-1.
Okay, and do you know which two it was?
I believe the brothers.
Okay. And you indicated that you did not know their names at that time.
No. I still don't really know.
Okay. If you were to see them, would you recognize them?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Do you see them in the courtroom here today?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you please point them out by an article of clothing and where they're seated, please, for the court?
In front of me with a white button-up shirt.
Okay. The two gentlemen with black ties on right here?
Yeah.
Thank you. So you indicated that it was a two-on-one fight at the time that Ethan got knocked out.
Yeah.
Do you know which brother threw the knockout punch?
I want to say the one with the color in his hair, I believe.
Okay. Do you know which one of these defendants that is right here today?
Like name?
Do you know which one it is?
Nah.
So you saw the knockout punch get thrown. Can you describe what Ethan was doing when that happened?
He was throwing punches back, trying to defend himself.
Okay, and which, was he throwing punches at both guys when it happened?
Just throwing punches. Just throwing punches.
And did Ethan see the punch coming that knocked him out?
No.
Could you tell where, if you know and can tell from your vantage point, can you answer that question?
Could I see what he was punching?
Ask your question.
Could Ethan see that punch coming? Did he know it was coming?
I don't know. I mean, probably I wouldn't know. I could see that the punch was coming, but I don't know if he saw it was coming.
Right. So did it sort of blindside him?
Yeah.
Okay. And you indicated that he locked up and fell down, is that right?
Yeah.
Were you able to see Ethan from basically the start of the fight through the end of it?
Yeah.
How many times did you see Ethan fall down?
Once.
Okay. There was no second fall down where he got back up or anything?
No.
Okay. After Ethan went down, did you see him move on his own ever again?
No.
Did you hear him say any words on his own ever again after that?
No.
Once he went down, what happened?
They started stomping him, punching him on the ground, ground and pound. Just they ain't stopped.
Okay. You used a term there, ground and pound, and I'm sure you might have some guesses as to what that means, but can you please explain?
When you get on top of somebody and they're already on the ground and it's just a rapid of punches still coming.
Okay. And did you see who was doing that, or was it everybody?
Give me a sec. It was one doing the ground and pound, but they all like played a part in the stomping and kicking.
Okay. So did both brothers participate in the
Yes.
kicking and stomping?
Yeah.
Okay, and you mentioned at some point that you approached
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah,
You know
like
which
try
one
to-
it was?
No, I can't tell. I can't really tell now. I know, but I can't tell now. Like, it's been a year, so I can't really tell.
Okay. Did you touch one of them?
Yeah, I tried to get him to stop. Like, I tapped his back, and he turned and flinched at me, and I just backed up.
Okay. When you say he flinched at you, can you explain to
Like when somebody like jumps at you, like they're about to hit you, and you make like react, like you jump back, like that's what I did.
Okay. So was it kind of in a threatening manner?
Yeah.
To get you to back off?
Yeah.
Did you back off?
Yeah.
At some point, did the attack end?
Eventually, yeah.
How did that come about?
They were just talking, and one of them like tried to like before he left, he like tried to punt him. Like, he kicked him extremely hard, like the rib cage in that area. And he told me to pick my mans up or something like that. I don't know. Pick my mans up or something like that. I don't know. He just was talking, and he kicked him in, and they walked away.
Okay, and I'm sorry, just in case the jury didn't quite hear you, did you say he told you to pick pick your mans up?
Something like that.
Okay. And did you know what that meant?
Just pick my friend up, basically.
Okay. Did anyone touch Ethan's clothing after that?
I don't think after the fact, no, but no, I don't remember.
Did you see anybody get in his pockets?
Yeah, I did see that.
Do you know who that was?
No.
Do you know at what point that happened?
After they got done assaulting him, and he was knocked out, bloody and stuff.
Okay. And so do they get up and walk away?
Yeah.
What do you do at that point?
I'm on the ground, seeing if he can breathe, or if he has any sign of breath. And then I'm rubbing his chest, calling his name, and then he coughed up a lot of blood or something like that. And then after that, I just told Makai and Ephraim to pull the car up.
Okay, so did you touch Ethan?
Yeah.
Can you describe to the jury how it was that you touched him? If you just bent down, or if there was some other?
Trying to pick him up. Well, I tried to pick him up, and I couldn't because it was dead weight.
Okay. And at that point, was the car still up by the basketball court?
No, the car was by me when I tried to pick him up.
Okay. And you said that you called for Makai to bring the car down?
Yeah.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
What did Makai and Ephraim do once they moved the car down by you?
Me and Makai tried to get Ethan in the car, and Ephraim was making a 911 call, and one of the three just wouldn't let us leave and get him in the car. He insisted on getting another round of fighting. He said, if I remember it correctly, he said, why is y'all out here playing? Y'all know how it is out here. Y'all shouldn't be it was something like that. And then he just was insisting on one of y'all got to fight before one of y'all got to run in 30 seconds with me or something like that. Just a fair one-on-one when the fight was already over with and I'm trying to get my friend in the car.
Okay, and I'm sorry that this is difficult, sir, but I kind of missed what you said there. Did you say he was insisting that somebody fight him?
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody from your group take him up on that?
No.
Okay.
That's where you hear us in the 911 call saying we don't want to fight.
Okay.
That's where all that's happening.
Okay, you've heard that 911 call?
Yeah.
Is one of the voices on there saying we don't want to fight your voice?
Yeah.
Do you know if anybody else was saying that?
Yeah. I want to say Makai said it too, but I don't think he caught it.
Okay. Do you know who the individual was who was insisting that you stay and fight?
I was familiar with him. I don't really know him. But
Is it one of the brothers?
No.
Okay, so it's the third guy.
Yeah.
Have you heard the name Donovan Jones?
I mean, since throughout the case, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And is that who we're talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. And at the time that this happened, did you know the Stafford brothers?
No.
Had you ever seen them at the park playing ball before?
Yeah, I've seen them up there twice playing basketball before.
Okay, but am I understanding correctly? You didn't know their name?
No, I don't know them. I just seen them playing basketball up there before.
Okay. Had you seen the third guy up there before?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know him at all?
No, not really. I'm just familiar with his face and seeing him around the neighborhood before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had you ever played basketball with him?
No. No.
Okay, so I think you said you and Makai were trying to get Ethan into the car. Is that right?
Yeah.
How were you doing that?
At first, I tried to pick him up. Then I couldn't. Then I tried to grab his his arms and Makai had his legs, and we was just both trying to move him, but even then we both couldn't move him because he just was extremely heavy for some reason. But we couldn't even get him to the car because the one individual just insisted on fighting.
Okay. Do you think that you moved him at all?
A little bit, but not too much.
Okay. From where he was on the ground in relation to the car, how did you have to move him if you were going to load him?
Like, we had, he was kind of, like, the car was pulled up towards, like, the back seat, so all I would have to do was just get him up enough to where I can get him in the back seat. So the car is kind of close enough to where I can do that.
Okay. Were you able to see Ethan and see his face?
Yeah.
Did he appear injured to you?
Yeah.
Would others there have been able to see him as well?
Yeah.
Would they have seen blood?
Yeah.
You indicated that there was one individual preventing you guys from getting Ethan loaded up.
Yeah.
Did the other guys come back at all, or were they gone?
They came back.
Okay. Do you know how they came back?
No, but I remember one came back and went in the back seat, smashed my phone. I don't know if he smashed the other ones back there, but smashed my phone. Then I think Ephraim was on the phone with the 911, and I think after we got done talking or whatever, or however that went between me and him, he just turned, and Makai tried to shut the door, and he was preventing him from closing it. And then he got it open, and he started kicking and punching them too.
Okay. Do you know what person that was?
Was Donovan.
Okay. Did you see what the Stafford brothers were doing while that was going on?
One was on the other side on the passenger side, trying to get in the car, hitting the window, I think. And the other one was just kicking him, or not the other brother, but I don't know what the other one was doing. I just know one was on the other side of the car, hitting the window, or something like that.
Okay. And again, where were you when this was going on?
Like, I'm in front of the car, like I'm at an angle. Well, I'm not gonna do all that, but I'm in front of the car with Ethan. Well, it's not really in front of the car. It's like a line with the headlight. I'm sitting there with him.
And were the other guys that initially had been playing basketball, were they yelling anything at this point? Are they saying anything to you?
I can't remember.
Okay. Did they make any threats at any time?
Yeah.
What'd they say?
They said they was gonna come back, or I was gonna go get my real shit or something like that, my real gun. I assumed they going to get their real gun, so yeah.
Okay. And at some point, did Makai get out of the car?
When?
I'm sorry?
When?
So you indicated that somebody was hitting Makai and Ephraim in the car?
Yeah, he got out after he let up, and he looked at me and told me to come on, start running. I saw him galloping, and he started running. And I just ran.
Okay, so when Makai took off running, you joined him?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that you had a cell phone in the back seat of the car, is that right?
Yeah.
What kind of phone was that?
iPhone.
Okay, and you said someone got in the car and got the phone.
And
Do you know who that
slammed
was?
it. I don't know which one, but it was one of the brothers.
Okay, and what did they do with it?
He slammed it on the concrete.
Okay, and was it? Did you have any other personal belongings there as well?
Yeah, I had my ID in the back of the phone.
Okay. So probably your phone and ID were left behind?
Yeah.
Okay, so Makai took off running and I guess told you to come along, is that right?
Yeah.
What was Ephraim doing?
I don't remember.
Okay,
I
was he
just
still
don't.
in the car?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Were you scared of the threats that they made about getting real guns?
Yeah,
Why did you get scared by that?
because like y'all done already did the damage was done. I didn't see the need for a real gun to get involved. So at that point, I was like, what am I staying here for if they get a real gun? So we ran.
Okay. And so you did run with Makai?
Yeah.
Where did you guys go?
To a friend's house that was right down the street from the court, but nobody was there or nobody answered. And then I ran home.
Okay,
Well,
so
we ran home.
let me
to
back
my
in
house.
just a touch. So you're by the light pole and the car's there with Makai, right?
Uh-huh.
Which, can you describe to the jury sort of the route that you take running away?
So it's the entrance and it's the pole. So from the pole, I run like out of the entrance, and then it's like, I don't know, but if some people familiar with the area, you would know. It's just, I ran down the street and turned to the side street, and it's just a house straight ahead, and I ran to the house.
Okay, so did you run down the alleyway that's behind McDonald's?
Yeah.
Okay, and then were you running towards a car lot?
Yeah.
And then at that street that you came to right there?
Yeah.
Do you know if that's called Valley Street?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, is your friend's house near there?
Yeah. It's right, like the first house you'll see going down that street.
Okay, and you said you and Makai both went there?
Yeah.
What happened when you got there?
We was bamming on the door, seeing if somebody was there, to see if I can use their phone, and nobody was there, or nobody answered.
Okay, did you know where Donovan and the Stafford brothers were at that point?
I seen a car pull out the little alleyway and go towards the main street, but that was the last thing I seen from them.
Okay, were you concerned they were maybe following you guys?
Yeah, I thought they was gonna chase us. So after I saw the car, I went to my house.
Okay, did you do anything when you thought that they were chasing you?
Can you repeat that?
Did you do anything in particular when you thought that they might be following you?
No, I just went home.
Okay, and Makai went with you?
Yeah.
Okay, so how far away did you have to go to get home? Is it a block, 2 blocks, a few blocks?
2 blocks.
Okay, and when you get home, do you go inside? Do you stay outside?
I go in and I tell my mom what's going on, and I use her phone to make a call because my phone was at the scene.
Okay, and who did you call?
I called a friend of mine that wasn't too far, or that didn't live too far, and I was just seeing if he can come down here and see what was going on at the scene because my mom didn't want me to go back.
Okay, and was there a reason you didn't call the police right then?
I didn't think it was that serious, like of a situation. I mean, I knew it was serious, but I didn't know he died from it.
Okay. Did you have reason to believe that the police were already on the way?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because Ephraim called him.
Do you know if your friend or your mom went back to the scene?
Yeah, they both did.
Do you know if they talked to the police?
No, they kind of just went over there to look to see what was going on, and I think they may have asked one of them a question or something like that. I don't know. But only thing I know is I was in the house, and I came back and received the news from another friend saying that he was dead.
Can you say that again for me, please?
I was in the house, and my friend that I told to go up there to see what was going on, he came back and told me that he died.
Okay. Did you talk to the police that night?
Yeah. After everything.
When you ran away with Makai, who was still back in the parking lot?
I believe Ephraim.
Ephraim, what about the guys playing basketball? Any of them?
I don't know.
Okay. And did anybody chase you as you ran away?
When I was running, I wasn't looking back. I wouldn't know I was running.
Okay. But the three guys that had been playing basketball and who attacked Ethan, they were still there, right?
I believe so. I don't know. I think.
I'm going to show you what's been marked State's Exhibit 33. It's a segment of video, and I'm going to ask you a few questions about it to help the jury understand what was going on that evening. Okay, so I'm gonna start it here at about the minute 49-second mark. And I'm gonna pause it at 1:59. Do you know whose car that is right there?
It's Ethan's. It's Ethan's.
Okay, and is that the car pulling up to the I Promise basketball court?
Yeah.
Okay, can you remind everybody where everyone was seated in the car?
Ephraim's in the passenger. I'm behind Ephraim. Ethan's driving, and Makai's behind Ethan.
I'm going to pause it there at 2:15. We see a couple guys hop out of the car. Is that Makai and Ephraim there?
Yeah.
Was Ephraim the guy that went up the furthest?
Yeah.
And we see them holding splatterball guns, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there at 2:36. Can you tell the jury, what happened in that little segment right there?
So, in that moment, this is when Ephraim and Makai are back in the car, and Ethan asked Makai for the splat, and Ethan got out and started shooting one of them that came to the car, and then y'all can see the fight started after that.
Okay, and obviously it's a little dark there on the screen, is that right?
Yeah.
And is it fair to say that it's a little bit hard for us to see what's going on there?
I apologize, but if you can't see something, then that's where the fight started. Like after you see him get out and start shooting, and then he took the gun and he punched him.
Okay. And what I'm getting at, sir, and you don't have to apologize for the lighting, were you in a position to see, was it hard for you to see what was going on that night when you were there in person?
No, like I could see it all.
I'm gonna, so at this point, you say the fight is on already?
Yeah.
How many people have come from the basketball court at this point?
I only seen one, well, two. So it's just at the point, well, at the fight, it's 2-on-1. Because I only just see the two.
Okay.
The third one, I didn't really see him until, like, after.
Okay, I'm gonna hit play here.
See, like, that's the last one, I think.
Okay, so that's the third guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and at this point, where are you?
I had got out when it was a 2-on-1, and I was going towards the fight. I was going to help, but I didn't. I was going to try to stop it, and that was just what I was trying to do, just trying to stop it.
Okay. And who do we see standing at the front of the car there?
That's Ephraim.
Hit play from 258. Okay, so I just paused it there at 317. Do you know what's going on at this point in the video?
The fight is pretty much about over, and they walking away, and you can see two walking away, but it's the one over there that's telling me to pick my mans up, or, you know, and he kicked him one good time before he left. Like I said, he punted him in the stomach. He did that, and then he walked away. And then...
Okay, and what are Ephraim and Makai doing here?
Like, when they got back in the car, I think that's when I told him to, like, bring the car up. Because I was seeing that he was beaten bad, and I was like, we got to get him to a hospital. I'm like, bring the car up.
So you could tell that already?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to hit play from 317. Okay, so we see four people walking there. I'm going to pause it at 329. Did you see four people walking back?
Yeah.
Do you know who the fourth person was?
I think it was a girl. I don't know. Well, actually, no, it was a girl, but she didn't do anything.
Okay. Do you know if you've seen her since then?
No.
Did you know her at the time?
No.
So hit play from 329. So I'm going to pause it here at about 4:39. Can you tell the jury what's going on at this point in the video?
All right, so I think if y'all did see it, well, one of them walked back, and this is the one that I'm telling, I'm not trying to fight. I'm just trying to get my friend in the car and leave at this point, but he insists on trying to get one of us to fight, and then he just tries to, because Makai tried to close the door, and he prevented him from closing it, and then he started punching him, kicking him, and then one of the brothers was on the other side of the car, hitting the other side, and then one came and went in the back and threw my phone.
Okay, hang on 1 second for me, sir. I'm gonna restart the video here from 4:39. going to pause it here. Sorry. At about 5:37. So at this point, do you know where you are?
I'm in the front of the car with Ethan.
Okay, when you say the front of the car,
Well, technically the side. So, like, I'm by the headlight. That's kind of where, like, he was laying, and that's kind of like where I'm, like, on the side of him, just sitting there and just watching us all.
okay, and would you be on the driver's side or the passenger side?
Drivers.
Okay, and then, do you know what vehicle just pulled down there by you?
Whatever car they were in.
Okay, that was part of their group there too?
Yeah.
Okay. And at this exact moment right here, do you know where the guys from the basketball court are?
They all at the car.
Okay. They're all at the car?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause it. At about 6:13, can you tell the jury what's going on in that part of the video?
Well, if y'all seen the passenger door open, they got the door open and they attacking Ephraim and Makai from both sides. And it's just, everything's over with. For real, they just wouldn't stop.
Okay. And do you know who was on the passenger side?
Which one, the brothers or?
In terms of the guys from the basketball court, do you know?
It was one of the brothers. I ain't sure which one.
I'm gonna restart it. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here at 6:30. Do you know what we're looking at right there?
Me and Makai running.
That's you and Makai running the alleyway?
Yeah.
And in the other video, before it jumped over to the McDonald's video, it's maybe a little bit difficult to see, but you guys took off running.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it at 6:40, 6:39. Do you know what we just saw right there?
One of the people on the court chasing us, chasing Ephraim, and I seen me and Makai just running. That's about it. I didn't know he was chasing us.
Okay. And did you know where Ephraim went?
No. After, in the video where you see I'm gonna just say, like, when I got to running, I wasn't even really thinking about it, if I'm being honest. I'm not gonna say it like that, but I was just trying to get away. And I was just making sure, I didn't make sure, but never mind.
Okay. At any point, did you see anybody in either group wearing a mask?
No.
Have you ever seen Ethan wear a mask?
Like, anytime before this situation, or?
Yeah.
Probably for baseball. That's about it. Yeah, for baseball.
And would that be kind of like a cold weather type of a thing?
Yeah.
Sir, I need you to, again, think back on if you had an opportunity to view Ethan before you ran away that night.
Like, do I know what he had on, or?
Did you have a chance to view the injuries to his face?
Yeah.
And I need you to let the jury know, if you're able to do so, I'm going to show you what's been marked State's Exhibit 16. If this is how Ethan looked the last time you saw him. Lamarion, just a couple more questions, and I'll wrap it up. When you last saw Ethan, can you please describe for the jury what injuries you observed to his face or body?
His bloody face, like he was bleeding from his mouth. His eyes was like I don't know, like shut, but like I can't describe it. But you could tell that he was beat badly. Like,
Okay, and were the injuries to his face the only injuries that you observed?
yeah,
You didn't observe injuries to his body?
no,
Did you observe any injuries to his body?
no,
Okay. You indicated he was bleeding from his mouth?
yeah, he was bleeding from his mouth. It was his face. Like you could just tell he was beat badly from his face.
Okay. Your Honor, if I could approach the witness.
May.
I'm going to have you take a look at what's been marked State Exhibit 16. Sir, minus the police placard and the medical stickers that had been placed on Ethan's body, was that the condition that you saw Ethan in?
Overall.
Yeah.
And sir, there was a time that it was reported that Ethan may have still been breathing to 911. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you believe Ethan was still breathing at that time?
I only thought that because he coughed up blood onto his shirt and then he made a noise. Like it wasn't like him talking, it was just like a noise. And I just thought he was still alive. I just thought it was some hope.
Can you say that last part for me?
Thought it was some hope.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Good afternoon, Lamarion.
Good afternoon.
My name's John Sen, and I'm going to ask you some questions, okay?
All right.
The last time you saw Ethan, he was in bad shape, correct?
Yeah.
And you hoped that maybe he was still alive.
Yeah.
You ever been around a dead body before?
No.
You ever been around somebody who suffers a brain trauma or a brain bleed?
Nope.
Do you have any experience with folks who when their brain suffers injury like that, bleed out their eyes and bleed out their mouth and throw up blood?
No.
So you don't really have the medical training to say whether there was hope that day like you want to be, or whether or not these are just involuntary things that happen when somebody dies. You don't know that, do you?
No.
Right. Now, what we can't agree on is that the punch that cost Ethan his life happened within a minute of the boys going with the spot ball guns, right?
Repeat that.
Ethan got knocked out, so we thought, right?
He did get knocked out.
Happened within a minute and 15 seconds of you guys getting out of the car.
Yeah.
It's fast,
Something
right?
like that, yeah.
And then a lot more stuff happened at a later time. People chasing you and kicking windows and stuff like that, punching you and breaking phones. Ethan's gone by then. He's knocked out.
Yeah, he's knocked out.
And you said that he just froze up, and could you hear him hit the ground?
No, I just watched it.
And he hit hard.
Yeah.
And at that point, he never really had any response after that, did he?
Nope.
And that was all fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the prosecutor talks a lot about when you guys were assaulted and you guys were attacked, but you guys started this, did you not?
Yeah.
Okay. There were 4 of you, right?
Yeah.
And four men, 4 boys.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, there are 3 men, 3 boys.
Yep.
And a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are minding their own business playing basketball
Yep.
when you guys decided to pull this prank.
Yeah.
Now, you, according to the police report, are 225 pounds. Is that, got you listed as Lamarian Dancy, 5'7", 225. What's accurate there?
My height,
Okay, what do you weigh? What did you weigh back then?
like $160.
Okay, I don't know where they got that. What about Makai? They have him as 6'1", 225. Is he bigger than you?
Yeah. Height, I know he's 6'1". I don't know about his weight.
Big guy?
Not really.
Bigger than you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're 165, we said?
At that time.
Okay. And he's bigger than you. And Ethan's bigger than all of you, right? 6'1"?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you an athlete?
Kinda, sorta.
Okay. Makai an athlete?
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Ephraim's a baseball player.
Yeah.
He's 5'8".
Yeah.
Okay. So you 4 boys are much bigger than the 3 boys on the basketball court. These guys are 5'5", 5'6", 135.
Are they?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think you're much bigger than him?
I didn't say that.
Okay. So, do you disagree with me that you guys are picking on smaller guys? Do you disagree with me that you 4 boys were bigger than the 3 guys you were picking on?
Yeah.
Okay. You were bigger, right?
I guess.
You got eyes.
I mean, I guess.
Okay. And on this night, you and Makai, till this day, you guys are tight, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you say his name, Makai?
Yeah.
You worked at Acme together.
Yeah.
Now you do landscaping together.
Yeah.
And you grew up. You grew up close to each other.
No.
Where do you live? Don't give me the whole address, but are you on the I Promise side of Market Street or across the street side of Market Street?
I promise that.
Okay. What about Makai? Is he on the I Promise side of Market Street?
Not in that area.
He's not from. He's not.
Not in that area.
We haven't heard from him yet. What about Ephraim? He's up by Merriman Road, right?
I don't know where he lives.
You don't know him like that.
I know him like that, but I don't know where he lives.
You never been to his house?
Once, but I don't remember where it's at.
What about Ethan? You ever been to his house?
I thought we was talking about Ethan.
I was talking about Ephraim. I'm sorry, maybe I said it wrong.
No. So I've never been to Ephraim's house, and I'm not familiar where Ephraim lives.
Now, you indicated that you and Ethan were friends,
Yeah.
and you told the grand jury that you wouldn't see him that much. Only time I would see him, it was in school or if I had asked him something. That's really it. I wasn't too close to him. Is that accurate at the time? You weren't too close to him?
Yeah.
But you would see him in school and you would call him when you had to ask him something. You text him when you had to ask him something.
Mm-hmm.
And none of you guys, well, I shouldn't say that. You're the only guy that mentioned what you were texting about. Tell the jury what you were texting him for. What question were you asking?
Marijuana?
Yeah, you got weed. He was your weed guy, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, how often do you buy weed off him?
I don't recall how much I did at the time.
How many times you buy him? You've been hanging out with him for 7 months. Is that when you started buying weed off him?
You said, can you repeat that?
You said you've been hanging out with him for about 7 months. Is that when you started buying
I
weed
never
off
said I was hanging out with him for 7 months.
him? Okay. You didn't start getting closer to him?
Yeah, I started getting closer to him.
Is that because you started getting into marijuana?
Yeah.
Okay. And how much did you buy this night? How much were you buying off him?
I don't know. I don't remember how much I was buying.
Eighth, quarter? What's normal?
Like quarter.
Okay. And you and Mackay, you had your own plans for the evening. Ethan was supposed to just drop by with the marijuana and go, correct?
Yeah.
And he, at some point, asked if you want to smoke. And the prosecutor says that you're both going to pitch in, right?
No, we're gonna smoke, but like we match like a blunt, basically. We just
You matched out of what you just bought off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he brings it, but he wants to smoke some of yours and some of his together.
yeah.
Okay. But that's kind of the cool thing to do, right? I mean,
I wouldn't really call it cool, but it's just some people, teenagers do.
okay. So you guys go and you match a blunt and you guys smoke 2 blunts?
Yeah, we were on we was on the second one, but it wasn't finished yet.
Okay. So you went through one whole, and a blunt for the jury is basically you take a cigar wrapper of some sort, like
Yep.
a small cigarillo, you empty out a lot of the tobacco and pack it with weed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you guys, between the 4 of you, finished one,
Yep.
and then you were partway through the second one.
And he got the text, and that's
And he got a text from another customer,
yes.
and he had to go make another delivery.
Yeah.
But he wanted to do this thing first, where, were you guys going to go, I shouldn't say.
No.
Were you guys going to go with him on the delivery?
Yeah,
Okay. Why were you going to go with him on the delivery?
because we were already with him, and we were still smoking.
Okay. You didn't have your own splat gun, right?
No.
And Mackay didn't have a splat gun.
No.
And you guys really had your own plans for the night. You
Yeah.
kind of got caught up in this?
I wouldn't say caught up. We just both agreed to smoke with him.
Okay. But now you're agreeing to go somewhere else and somewhere else.
No, that's not what the plan was. We were supposed to smoke with him, and we were going to go home, and he was going to go do what he was going to
So
do.
he was going to drop you off before he sold the next.
Yeah, but we didn't know he was going to have to serve somebody else while we were smoking with him.
Okay. Okay. And at some point you're driving by a promise school, and whose idea is it to shoot people with this flat gun?
I don't recall. All of us kind of got the idea, so I don't specifically remember one of us saying, let's do it. We all agreed.
And the idea is quick drive-by shooting were your words. You're going to do a quick drive-by shooting. And no one's saying it's a real gun.
Yeah,
You get it, you're getting a real gun. But the idea is you do a quick drive-by out the window.
that was the idea.
Okay. And you discuss that, and it would be,
It didn't go as planned. We eventually,
because Ethan stopped the car.
yeah,
And Ethan handed Mackay a gun and told him to get out. I mean, wasn't that your words?
yeah. Told him, man, from gotta get out and shoot, get out and walk down.
Say that to me again. That would go a little bit far, shoot you right in the face with the thing, wouldn't it?
It,
So you got hit in the body and stuff like that, and big deal.
I mean, if you get shot in the face, it's a big deal, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's intentional unless somebody's intentionally aiming at your face, but no.
But that's a little bit more insulting than shooting in your kneecap with the thing.
Yeah.
Shooting in your butt.
Yeah.
Okay. So, they jump out and they shoot you with that, and it's all good friends, and you guys smoke, and you smoke a blunt and a half, and then you
Object, Your Honor, I don't know if this is a question.
okay, I'll withdraw that particular question, because it got a little confusing to me. Now, Ephraim's coming back to the car. He's going to get in the passenger seat where he's riding shotgun, and you're, where are you? Are you behind Ephraim or behind Ethan?
I have.
Ephraim, okay. And then Mackay, he's behind Ethan.
Yeah.
And at this point, there's a point in time where they run up on the boys on the court, trick them, play the prank, and then come back, and everybody is in the car. And there's nothing stopping everybody from driving away. That's what we thought would happen, right? Now we're going to drive away.
Yeah. But unfortunately it didn't.
Right, but whose choice was that?
Ethan's.
Ethan says, give me the splat.
Yeah.
And at this point, one of the boys, and you're testifying that Deshawn is walking up with a basketball in his hand, somewhat smiling and saying, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious, dude? You just shot me?
It's not like how you're explaining it, but it's more like a smirk and like, are you serious? Like a sarcastic, but not like.
You being serious? Are you shooting with this?
Not like, but you wouldn't be able to tell if he was mad.
Okay.
So that's why I say like I couldn't tell.
But at this point, from point blank range, how far is Ethan away from Sean when he starts shooting in the face with this thing?
Kind of like where he is, a little closer. Yeah, kind of where we are.
And he's not shooting the kneecap of the butt, straight in the face.
I wouldn't say straight in the face, but upper, like above the torso, or up here.
Which point Sean tries to grab the gun away from him. Right? And that's what he said. Sean tries to grab the gun. And then
So he didn't try. Like, fortunately, he just grabbed the gun and punched him.
okay.
A vice versa.
Which, does that seem reasonable thing to do?
Yeah, at that point.
Yeah. Okay. So the fight's on, and Ethan's giving as good as he got, right? Ethan's swinging, and they're fighting. Ethan and Sean are fighting, and it moves into the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
And did you watch that fight?
Yeah.
Did you see the point where Sean got slammed onto the ground?
Punch.
Did you see the point where Sean got slammed?
He didn't get slammed.
Tell me what you saw. You're in the car, you're in the
He
seat.
slammed. Ethan's the only one getting attacked. He's getting jumped. And I get out the car when I see the second person run up to him. And if we can pull the video back, I can see him jump out the back of the car.
I got you. We're going to do that. But you're in the back seat, Ethan's fighting, and he's fighting Sean. Right?
It's 1-on-1.
One-on-one. And they're both swinging.
They're both swinging.
And then what happens next?
Another one comes. Then he's outnumbered. It's 2-on-1.
Okay, I got that. And you three are just sitting in the car.
Oh, I got out the car.
Okay. And at that point, what is the other guy doing with Ethan?
What other guy?
I mean, is Ethan losing? Is he winning? Can you tell?
Yeah, he's outnumbered. He's losing. So I'm getting out the car and I'm heading over there to try to break the fight. But as I'm approaching, that's why I say I seen his body lock up and fell in the ground.
But I understand that at this point, one of the brothers comes over after the other brother fighting, and then you guys get out of the car. But during the punch, that actually, when you see the punch, it knocks Ethan down.
Yeah.
And the prosecutor tries to say it's like a sucker punch. But this is a straight Okay. So, and at the time he's getting hit in the face, he's in the middle of a fight
Yeah.
that he started.
No.
No?
No, because he didn't throw the first punch, but he shot at him, so I see the reason why he punched him.
Okay.
He didn't start the fight.
So your thought is it's whoever threw the first punch. You're not taking into account the shooting in the face.
I guess if that's why the fight's started, then yeah, that's.
Can you see why somebody might think that throwing a punch is a reasonable response
Yeah.
to being shot in the face at close
At that
range?
point, yeah.
Okay. And then you don't even have time to get over there and help your friend because it's over that quick, right?
Yeah.
And Mackay doesn't have time to help your friend because it's over that quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ephraim's not, he just is kind of hanging out front. He's not really, I see him going back and forth with the headlights.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get a chance to help Ethan? I mean, like, to jump in and was this too fast?
He was already on the ground.
So the damage was done by that point in time.
Yeah.
And within seconds, one of the boys says, pick up your boy.
This is after.
Okay. This after he's already down.
Yeah, and everybody done and walking away. One of them stayed. And that's why I said he kicked him and he said what he said.
And one of them says to you, what are y'all doing, man?
This is when the car gets pulled up and they all come back.
Okay. Now, that's like round 2 though, right? Ethan's knocked out in round 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan's not participating in round 2 in any way, shape, or form.
No.
But the other boys there, these are black kids, right? The one who said he was an African American kid.
Yep.
And he looks at you and says, what are you doing with what's going on out here?
And just
What'd you take that to mean?
like stupid decision. Like why is we playing, knowing like the danger that's going on right now at the time? Like it just wasn't a good time to be playing like that.
Yeah. Do you think this situation would have been different if you guys had just stayed in the car?
So many ways it could have been different.
You could have not decided to shoot the kids.
That's one of them.
Could have not decided to jump out of the car. You could have just done the drive-by and left. Right?
Yeah.
And Ethan could have decided not to get out and shoot this kid in the face. He could have just pulled off.
Yeah.
So you agree with me that there were a lot of bad decisions that night,
Yeah.
going both ways.
Mm-hmm.
But when this thing started, these boys were shooting hoops, right?
Yeah.
And you guys were shooting these things. Right?
Yeah.
No further questions.
Can we agree that this has been a very difficult experience for you?
Yeah.
We believe it's difficult probably for everybody. Is that fair?
Yeah.
One second. You said when this whole thing was starting, when you thought it was going to be just like a fake drive-by, just shoot, we'll get it. It's only going to last, what, a few seconds?
Yeah.
Go out and hang out the car, shoot, and take off, and then go out.
That was the original plan.
But you said for some reason Ethan decided to stop the car and tell 2 guys to get out and walk up on them, or what was the phrase?
Yeah.
Something like that. All right. You said your state of mind was, all right, they're out of the car. I want them to hurry up.
Yeah.
Right. You want to let's get out of here.
Like I'm laughing, like, cause I'm on it, I'm in on it, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling like this wasn't the plan, so y'all gotta hurry it up. That's what I'm thinking. Just come on.
In your mind, the sooner we get out of here, the better for everybody. sooner we get out of here, the better. I mean, it sounds like the same thing.
No, I don't.
It doesn't?
No, because I just wanted to do the drive-by. I didn't want him to get out and do that. I didn't have no idea that was going to turn into that. I just wanted him to do that.
Okay.
I just wanted him to hurry because that wasn't the plan.
I think it wasn't your plan.
No, that wasn't the plan at all. We all knew what was going on. That wasn't what we was going to do until we parked it.
Was it possible that you had a plan and
No,
some?
I didn't have a plan. We all agreed on it.
I thought you said your plan was we were gonna just hang out the car, shoot
Yeah,
the kids and leave, so that was your plan.
Yeah, okay, you're right. That's what I
But
had.
maybe someone else in your car had a different plan.
Yeah, that changing the park.
Okay. But I mean, you didn't change it. You didn't
No.
say, yeah, I got a plan B. You didn't say that. You didn't change the plan.
No.
I mean, Ethan changed the plan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Now you said that you saw when Ethan got knocked, when he fell down, when he got knocked down.
Right.
Okay. Now I represent Tyler Stafford. You didn't see Tyler Stafford knocking him, Ethan down, did you?
Was he the one that threw the punch?
Well, you tell me. I mean,
No.
okay.
I know he was a part of it when they were all fighting. And I don't know if he threw the punch.
Okay. Is it fair that it's, because you don't know the three involved, that sometimes you get them mixed up?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you did say that one of the guys was a taller guy.
Yeah.
Is that right? And I mean, I can tell you that Donovan's the taller guy. I mean, you're not sure of the name, or are you?
Oh, I know his name now.
Okay. And Donovan was the taller than these two guys.
Yeah.
And Donovan, the taller guy, was the one chasing you at the end.
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And was Donovan, the taller guy, the one telling you at the end, like, hey, I want to fight, let's do some,
Yeah.
all right, let's go. We need some more violence, apparently. And that's what you heard. That's what you interpreted it as.
Yeah, he just insisted on getting like a fair one-on-one fight.
At some point, did you say that you tried to hit Donovan or something?
I talking about when they were on top of Ethan.
Well, I don't know when, but at some point, did you try and swing at anybody?
No, I wanted to.
You wanted to swing at him, but you didn't.
No.
Is it you didn't because it went so fast?
Because I could. In the situation I'm in at the time, I just couldn't.
Because of your situation, you couldn't get into it?
Yeah. Not my situation, but just how the situation was, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I could have, but I didn't.
I don't have any more questions. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Sir, just very briefly, there were some questions there about where exactly Ethan shot Deshawn with the splatter ball.
Yeah.
Can you just clarify for the jury where it was that he was hit? Where was Ethan shooting Deshawn with the splatter ball?
I want to say like in this area. I'm not really sure if it's the face, but I know it's this area.
You can remember that he's referring to his neck down to his mid-chest.
Yeah.
And sir, you heard the splatter ball gun being
Yeah.
shot off here by Turnison, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe that that's a loud sound?
It's loud, but referring it to, like, if you want to refer to a gun, an actual gun, you can tell the difference.
What would the difference be?
That's like, you can hear that it's like a toy, like, I don't know. You hear the difference, so it's not much.
And do you think being indoors makes any difference with the sound of it?
Probably, but either way, it's gonna sound like that. But you know the difference.
That's all. Thank you, Josh.
Prosecutor asked you questions about the sound of the gun, right? Prosecutor asked you questions about where you were shooting, right?
Yeah.
You've been answering questions for the prosecutor for a year now, have you not?
If we
You
take
meet
it back,
with them,
yeah,
you're at the house, you have to go to the office, all that stuff. You're here for the prosecution, right? You were prepared for this testimony. You've been prepared to come in here today.
yeah.
And you and Mackay worked together and probably talking about this for a year. And knowing that you're here on the prosecution, you know that you don't have anything to worry about, right?
Yeah.
You haven't been charged with any crime out of this whole mess. You walked away, and every one of you guys walked away without so much as a traffic ticket.
Your Honor, I object. It's outside the scope of the redirect.
Should be on scope.
Withdraw.
Great. You were asked about the sound of the gun, but now all the times that has been fired here today, the weapon is unloaded. To use no other term, right? I mean, there were no pellets. There's no pellets up on the ceiling or anything like that, right?
No.
So I mean, it's a little bit different. I mean, we heard the sound multiple times, but it's a little bit different when the weapon is loaded, right? And pellets are coming out of it like.
But then
7 a second.
But come on now, you know the difference between a real gun and that.
Well, I didn't ask you that.
I'm just saying.
Well, are you saying that 7 pellets don't come out of this thing in a second?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. I just know it's shoes.
You just know it's shoes.
It's a toy gun.
But I mean, you didn't see anything come out in this courtroom, did you?
No, it's not loaded.
It's not loaded. It's not loaded. So it's that sound with the addition of water soaked pellets coming out of it.
So, what do you asking?
Well, I'm asking, is there a difference between this being loaded and unloaded?
No.
There's no difference between it being loaded and unloaded.
It might be. I don't know, but it's,
Well,
what? It's unloaded. How am I going to know that?
well, this weapon is unloaded,
Huh?
and on June 2nd of last year,
It was
they
loaded.
loaded.
I don't remember exactly how it sounded when they loaded, but I know
understand.
that's how it sounds now. Like,
Well, let's leave the sound out of it for a second. This weapon is unloaded.
Yeah.
It was fired in here today, unloaded, but they were both loaded on June 2nd.
yeah,
And I mean, do we have any idea how many rounds were fired
no,
on June 2nd?
no,
Is it possible we were carrying, like the car was carrying 20,000?
No.
It wasn't?
I don't know.
You never heard that number, 20,000 rounds before?
For them,
Yeah.
I heard it, but I don't know if we had 20,000 rounds with us that night. I
Who
don't
did
know.
you hear the 20,000 rounds from?
Advertisements, just seeing it on TV because it's told.
So you've seen commercials for this weapon, for this force, or you call it whatever you want.
TikTok, stuff like that, yeah, I've seen it around.
So you've seen people on TikTok saying, hey, this thing shoots 20,000 rounds.
Not exactly saying that, no. But
Well, you said you heard 20,000 on commercials or social media?